podcast where we talk all things art, culture, and entertainment, but more specifically pop culture entertainment. This episode is going up way past when I expected it to. But yeah, it's been a while. We love having you all about. This is episode 70 of the show. We have a fun show planned for you. It was a little bit more impromptu, a little bit more free-flowing, but I feel like we got to kind of the nitty-gritty of everything that we wanted to talk about with this episode. So, yeah, just don't forget to like the show, share the show, rate the show 5 stars, and comment with the hashtag AskAce, and I'll pick up with you guys with the outro. I hope you enjoy me, Aaron, and Aaron's friend, our guest, Ian. So, yeah, like I said, enjoy the show.
So I know we're not talking about everything, which is fine.
That's fine. We'll break it up.
Because I too have to get to the sleep at some point. Look at that. What is the screenshot you posted under the Spidey thing?
Oh, that's the Johnathan Majors text.
Oh God! Wait, is this recent?
That's the one his lawyer put out. Which is like, I'm sorry,
okay.
your phone.
So wait, his lawyer released that of the woman that he was with, like having sent that to him?
Johnathan Majors' lawyer released that to the public as like, see, he's innocent.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why would he lie?
That was a fucking mistake.
You see, she admitted it. You see?
Well, it was that one video you got me that really kind of sealed it for me. Of the woman that works in PR, she's like, dude, if your management and your PR both drop you, you're fucked. I'm like, shit. Yeah, that's a good point.
If our team leaves you, that's how you know they're like, this ship is sinking. We got to get the fuck out of here.
If your PR team drops you, it might actually be
right.
Like their whole thing is literally public relations, and they're like, dog, we can't relate shit.
Which means they know some shit likely that we don't know yet, and it's only a matter of time before it comes out.
Which again, part of me wants to go, well, what about Ezra Miller? But then it's like, well, non-binary or not, that has the it's not a big black dude. I'm just like,
also they don't have the roles lined up that they're losing because they weren't involved in major Hollywood shit anyway because they shot Flash in like 2018, 2019. So he has nothing on. He's not a rising star. He's just been kind of stagnant and just waiting for this.
I thought they shot Flash during pandemic.
They shot reshoots during pandemic, but I think Flash. Because bro, that first trailer came out like 2-3 years ago.
That
Comic-Con trailer came out like 2 or 3 years ago.
Why is DC so slow with their shit?
I'm really trying.
They had a whole major reshuffling in their because Warner Brothers got bought by Discovery, and then they were canceled like half their shit. Like there's a Batgirl movie that was shot, and that shit got canned. And they're like, we're not releasing anything until it's up to par and up to quality because we're only releasing things of quality. And none of you guys have seen Shazam 2, right?
I still need to see it.
That wasn't quality, was it?
I keep forgetting to go see it.
It's pretty mid. It's like for Zachary Levi because that movie, it's like fine. It's fine.
I'm confused why Mr. Mind wasn't the villain. That's who they set up at the end of the first one. His rogues are like Baldy McBaldface.
Wow. Okay.
Mr. Mind. No, it's cool on you, Ian. You make it look good, but it's like it's evil Mark Strong. It's that worm, and it's Black fucking Adam. And The Rock soiled that last one. When the fuck is this? Nah, bro. What the?
Oh, so that trailer
on the Flash began in January 2020.
Pre-production, okay. And that trailer, that first look trailer, came out in October of 2021.
Yeah. Principal photography was April to October 2021. They shot it during the pandemic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they shot it in the UK.
Yeah.
That shit got announced almost 10 Jesus Christ. I forgot about that. That shit got announced in like 2014.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a dude that was like, that movie got announced when I was 9. I'm 18 now. I'm like, oh,
it's crazy how like going through like, because the guys who did
He's been waiting half his life for this.
right, Francis McDale, the guys who did D&D were originally attached to direct, and then Rick Famuyiwa was attached to a direct, or vice versa.
They still have story credits on that too. John Francis Daly and John Goldstein, who did the Spider-Man movies.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
I want the reboot already. I'm so sick of the DC universe as it is. And just that.
Well, to get a
I'm excited for Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle's gonna be fun. Did you watch the trailer for that game?
I don't know enough.
Did you watch the trailer for it?
For what?
For Blue Beetle?
It looks fun.
George Lopez is in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
All right, we'll send it to you.
Oh my God! Why are we getting an 11th Fast and the Furious movie? Let it die! Jesus Christ!
I think that one is going to be the last one.
I counted the amount of times he said family in the small trailer. It was like 9 times he said family. Tom Toretto says family 9 times in the trailer for Fast 11.
What is the only reason I mention that is because I'm on Christina Hodson's page, because apparently she's the screenwriter for The Flash. She's also the screenwriter for Batgirl, the screenwriter for Birds of Prey, Bumblebee, and then at the bottom it says untitled 11th Fast and Furious movie that already has a director. And apparently she's in the writer's room for James Gunn's DC Universe map.
I'm going to call it now. I'm going to put money down, right? I'm going to put $5 down. The last Fast movie is going to be called Fast Forever.
It's called
Family. Fast Family.
Fast Family. Yeah, yeah. The Fastiverse. The Furious verse.
All right, Ian's put it in the chat. The Blue Beetle trailer.
I'm checking it out.
Why does looking at the Wikipedia for the Flash movie like upset me? I think I'm just done. I think I'm just done with it all, which is a shame, because I feel like Andy Muschietti is actually passionate about it. He's like, yeah, despite me being like the 5th person on this monstrosity, and then it just continued to spiral downwards until it doesn't matter anymore.
Bro, I'm just over all the hype of it. I'm just like, I just want to watch the damn movie, because everyone's been saying it's the greatest.
Because everyone's like, oh, it'll blow your dick off. It's the best thing ever. I'm just like, a movie with 2 Batmans, I don't think can be that good.
Right.
What movie are we talking about?
The Flash.
It was so good. Tom Cruise came in his own mouth. Like, what the? What is all this?
A movie so good we needed 2 Batmans and a Supergirl to make it interesting.
Right.
Oh, and Aquaman's father, I guess, is
really,
of all the cameos, they're just pulling random because they don't have anything. They don't have anything.
Why is Boba Fett gonna be in it? What the hell?
Well, I mean, hey, he did good as his dad.
He did. He killed it.
Oh,
that's just in. They're gonna make a Fast spin-off series that's after the apocalypse, starring Dom. It's gonna be called The Fast of Us.
You. God damn it. Jesus Christ. Just but buddy, we canceled Batgirl for this.
Right.
Maybe that's the way
they canceled Batgirl for this.
Every time I look at a bad idea that David Zaslav has, I'm like, bro, we canceled Batgirl for this.
Well, hey, man, we
Batgirl for this, bro.
We haven't seen any footage from Aquaman 2, so it could blow our dicks off for all we know.
No, we barely seen shit. I think we saw a still in a picture during Fandom.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to expect, but I hope it's good. I hope it's good.
I want it to be good. I just kind of don't. I don't get, aside from Blue Beetle, I really don't.
I'm just waiting until Superman Legacy comes out. That's the one I'm actually excited for. You know what that is?
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that. Shit, I want to play him, but they probably won't let me. It's like, fine, I'll do it myself because I'm not some 5'10", white man.
Why do you want to be Clark?
Huh?
I said, why do you want to be Clark?
Because I just want to do it.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I also know I'd be good at it.
Okay, Nike, I see you.
Because I just really used to. It's like I used to not really fuck with suits like that, but also having extensive conversations with Cole about Superman and how I would adapt him. Because I'm like, here's the thing: in order to dislike something properly, you have to study. Like so it's like love and hate both require a lot of energy. So for me to really not with Superman for a long time, I would have to not with him for very specific reasons. And what it boiled down to is, I think, when he's in good hands of good writing, he's a super strong character. If you don't know how to write him, he's shit. Spider-Man, even if he has bad writing, is like still an inherently interesting character. But Superman being like the first major superhero is kind of flat and boring by contemporary standards. But you have good writing, and he's really cool and dynamic.
Yeah, I think the cornerstone of good Superman writing is like, I don't like it when they go the what if, route of like, well, what if he gave into the power and was like a dictator or whatever? Because like the whole point is that he does have all the power in the world and he could do that, and he resists that, and he's a genuinely kind person.
You just want him to be an authoritarian because you're cynical and you don't have hope in your soul.
Yeah,
you don't have joy in your spirit.
And that just proves Lex right, and then that's the completely opposite of his character, is to just continuously prove Lex wrong.
I think that's why, like,
is essentially Ted Lasso. If you just write Superman as Ted Lasso,
yeah, there's a reason people jokingly call him but not so really call him like the Blue Boy Scout. Like, what it boils to, he's a nice guy with all the power in the world. So it's like when Zack Snyder did the Christ allegory with him, he took all the wrong shit. He took like the symbolism of him being this figure that's willing to die. He didn't get the core extent of just like, dude, Jesus was a guy that walked around helping everybody. You missed the whole point of the whole prophet shit just because it's like, well, I like it when he does the T. It's like, and it's like you're so fixated on the stuff that made him popular, you miss the whole core of like what he is. That's why his Clark sucks. That's why Pa Kent sucks. I'm like, well, let's humanize him so that he asks questions. No, the thing was, he was raised by like these two Captain America ass country farmers, that are just like, hey, you know what, Clark? Be nice to everybody, regardless of how they look, how they behave. Even if they're criminals, do your best to be a good person. Because you have all the power, so everyone's going to look up to you. Don't ever doubt that. You're a good man, so do good things. It's like, okay, just because you don't know how to raise your fucking kids and this fictional character had a good home life, I'm sorry, bro.
As an adaptation for like a black Superman, man, because that'd be dope, because you could take it like the MLK route and just be like, exactly. So we're not gonna, yeah.
My thing is like, I know they're trying to do Ta-Nehisi Coates, and he wants to do a period piece. I'm so over period pieces with black people. And Aaron knows this. He was like, I'm so fucking tired of it, bro. Do something else. Like,
because what they're trying to do is they're trying to like antiquate it, like, oh, this is a problem like way far in the past. That's why we've got a period piece. I'd like a modern one too. I get that.
Yeah, because I'm just like, do something different. So it's like, if you have, like, first of all, we already have that character. That's Icon. He landed literally during slavery. No one has it worse than that dude. Like he's an alien that turned into the first thing he saw. What did he see? Slaves.
I didn't know this, but that sucks.
Like at least that's the backstory in his most recent run. Mind you, all the Milestone books are really good books, but it's like he landed during slavery and was like, but has like the powers of Superman. So he just burned down the plantation and lived amongst humanity for the next 100 and so years. Until he decided to be a superhero.
He's from another planet. He's from another planet and then transformed into a black person because he saw a slave.
Well, yeah, he's a shapeshifter. He's kind of like Martian Manhunter.
Oh, I didn't know about that about Icon.
But that's why everyone said Black Superman do an Icon movie. Because like, if you want to do the racial allegory, pick the character that literally has it baked into their backstory. Where he literally landed during slavery and then was around for all of the, World War I, World War II, Civil Rights Movement, the fucking crack epidemic. He was here for all that shit because his whole thing is he was escaping his planet, at least in his current run. He's escaping his planet from this other evil alien guy, but he's trying to help Earth so that we can go join like the Galactic Union. But we have to fix all our shit first before we're like fit enough to join them. And when he landed in the fucking 1800s, slavery in America is pretty damn bad. So like, I see why people are like, you don't need to do Black Superman in the Civil Rights Movement when we have Icon right there to do exactly that.
So did he travel back in time, or was the galactic shit already happening in the 1800s of Earth time?
Yeah, everyone else is already up in that bitch. We're slow. We're just slow. He's from like this advanced world society and comes here. Is like, the fuck is this? Yes.
What's this?
Turns into a black dude, burns down a slave master's house. The villain chasing him turns into a white guy who ends up working for the CIA. Surprise! Like, who's like, oh, I've been looking for him for a while. Like, just read his season 1 run. It's like 6, 7 of Icon and Rocket. It's like 6 issues. It's good. It's a good book. But it's like, yeah,
Icon.
Oh Jesus, no! Jesus Christ, no! Absolutely not. And I like Tarantino as a director. Hell no.
And when they made the movie,
I am not trusting Quentin Tarantino to do the Black experience. With that said, I also don't want Ava DuVernay to do it because I'm just going to be sad for 2 hours.
Ryan can do it. Let's get Ryan to do it. Let's get Coogler to do it.
Yeah, sure. I trust him. Get Coogler to do it. No, I don't need anybody old guard. Don't no Spike Lee, no Tarantino. Keep Scorsese's fingertips away from this.
You wouldn't touch it anyway.
Huh?
Scorsese wouldn't touch it anyway.
Well, yeah, because he only does movies about depressed Italians that like to shoot each other.
Yeah. Does he even know what a black person is? Does he have black people in his movie?
I don't think he does.
Scorsese movie.
I need to ask Nina about this. Like, hey, when's the last time you saw a black person in Scorsese?
Never.
It's like, don't get me wrong, he's a talented ass director, but like, he very much is a director that stays in his wheelhouse. That's why I can give Tarantino credit for. He does weird shit.
Yeah, like making women show their toes. Like, what was it? Dawn Before Dusk. He sucked.
Salma Hayek pours tequila down her leg into his mouth.
Salma Hayek's foot from Dusk Till Dawn.
How many reshoots did they do? I wonder.
Do it again.
Wonder because she has like a snake phobia. I wonder if he like purposely wrote the snake in so that she'd have to keep redoing it.
I mean, like, there's that. It shows up in because our boy DJ and I, we reviewed Foxy Brown. There's like a strong 2-minute shot of this white girl's bare ass Piggly Wigglies on a coffee table. And the shot is framed right towards her with her peepers right here, dead center camera. I'm like, Quentin, can you like pretend to hide your fetish for 10 minutes? Just pretend that we don't all know. Like, you're almost as bad as Dan Schneider.
Oh, Dan Schneider.
He's a step below Dan Schneider in his barely disguised foot fetish. I remember somebody said somebody posted that picture of Margot Robbie's feet pointed upwards in the Barbie trailer, and I commented saying they're like Quentin Tarantino's mad he's not directing the Barbie movie. I'm like, he's screaming and yelling into a pair of red bottoms right now as we speak. Just like, it should have been me. I should have been the one out here sucking tequila off Margot Robbie's feet, not Will Smith. I mean,
focus.
Look, we're supposed to be getting some sort of like Twilight resurgence. I didn't know if we wanted to talk about that shit either. Nah, yeah, I don't know what the hell they're trying to do with Twilight. It's like they're either going to do a remake or a spinoff. And I sat and thought about it. I'm like, don't remake that bullshit. Because all of the interesting characters were literally everybody but the main fucking characters. Like, you know what they needed? You know what I actually unironically wouldn't hate as a spinoff? Do something about that entire tribe of Native American werewolf people.
What? Oh, Twilight? Oh, yeah, they're doing a spinoff. They're doing a new series of that.
Don't remake it. Just do a series about a bunch of Native American werewolves. That's the most interesting shit that no one has ever done anything with. I ain't never seen no shit like that before. That's like, oh yeah, you know, we got a story about a bunch of Chinese sea monsters in this romance. I'm sorry, you did what? Yeah. You know, a bunch of Japanese zombies falling in love with like Chinese walking sea stars, but the true love story is between these two boring white people. It's like, no, bitch, what was that other thing you said? Like, they had fucking vampires doing Avatar shit, earthbenders. They had a bunch of natives and indigenous people turning into wolves, fighting crime on some Sailor Moon shit. Like, what is that story? I don't know what the fuck is going on. They have a vampire Vatican that just controls the world, I guess, that no one's talking about. I don't give a fuck about these raggedy ass
Isn't that the actual Vatican?
Huh? Yeah.
Isn't that the actual Vatican?
Yeah, except for the vampire Vatican doesn't eat kids.
Kids are off limits.
Yeah, weirdly enough, in the fictional one, the kids are off limits. At least till they're like teenagers. You know, the actual Vatican, they just say anything goes. Huh? What are some things we can talk about that are like brief enough? Oh shit, I completely forgot about Beef. Ian, have you seen Beef?
No, I haven't seen Beef.
Oh, it's so good.
It's a really good show.
Yeah,
although, did you see the controversy about the one dude, David Cho?
Oh shit! What did he do?
He basically admitted to sexually assaulting someone on a podcast, like
Rogan's.
Huh?
Was it on Rogan?
No, it was on like Asa Akira's Pornhub podcast or something.
Oh no!
Yeah, like I was texting my partner. I'm just like, oh baby, I'm watching Beef. It's so good. And they're like, wait, isn't that the one with that one dude that's like rapist? I'm like, I was so scared that it was Steven Yeun. I'm like,
oh, she.
no. And they sent me an article. I'm like, oh fuck, okay, it's like the actual worst character, anyways.
Good.
I was scared. I'm like, please not Steven Yeun. I can't. Look, I already lost Johnathan Majors. I can't lose another hero. But I'm just like,
too good for this world.
He doesn't get a pass on that shit if he really did it, but apparently he tried to like walk it back.
We're just talking about kink, right? I mean, it's a porn podcast, right? I
mean, yeah. He's like, oh, I was just trying to be edgy for the lulz. It's like, nah, dude, you got into some pretty specific details about like what you did to that chick.
The stinky kinkies, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like scrolling through TikTok or whatever. It's like, here's why you need to boycott Beef because this one horrible piece of shit. If everything he said was true. Now, granted. No one has come out to say they were like the survivor of the assault, but the fact that he just like admitted it is weird. It's like, here's the thing, even if you're like fucking around, that's a really weird thing to joke about for like 2014. This was definitely in the middle of like the Me Too era. It's like, oh, her there, I like did this awful gross thing. Bro, what? What are you talking about, bro? What do you mean?
Well, what's wild to me is that like when like I can understand certain levels of cancellation, but when you have like just like somebody who's a minor character that the casting people probably didn't even know that that was something that he did. It's not like it was a conspiracy to cover up what he did and get him a job and boost him up there. It's like this is just this independent piece of you know, media, and it's a story. Just because that one guy was a piece of shit in real life in it doesn't mean the whole thing needs to get wiped from the media scape, you know?
Like, all intents and purposes, he does show up a lot in the narrative. Now, granted, he does play a piece of shit, so it's like, on the one hand, he did some horrible, gross shit, even if it was a while. Like, even if he was joking about it, it's a really weird thing to joke about. So I am hoping that it was just a really poor case of humor. I
would
can,
imagine it's true. It sounds like it was heavy on the conscience, and he thought it was a fine
yeah,
place to let it out.
yeah. So it's like I'm kind of two minds where, um, nowadays I would hope that companies that are doing casting are doing enough like background checks into people, but also given the Jonathan Majors shit, like I don't think that's as much the case because dude was on top of the world, and then he had to do some shit recently for other people to come out the woodworks and be like, "Oh yeah, he may not be as cool as he's cooped up to be." So it's like I a part of me kind of want to give the benefit because I even think about my own life. It's like there have definitely been situations of people I've maybe known, but had someone that like be it a family friend or something like that, where I didn't know how bad that bitch was until like someone literally told me. So I understand people being like, "How didn't you know?" It's like, dog, keeping it real. Sometimes people don't look as it's like that doesn't make it okay for you to not look, but being honest, like some people don't check that deep,
Yeah.
some people aren't that close, some people really just like production wise probably won't dig into it. Like, I work on small, like micro small indie projects. My director probably isn't checking my socials that much. I'm not doing anything wild and crazy, but like they're probably not like checking in on me that much. Like we'll occasionally correspond, but they're not digging into my Facebook or like grub. They're not like, "Oh, did you have a Tumblr before we shoot this thing together?" Like it's bad to say, but people just be ignorant, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's not excuse. If he really did some gross shit, that's not excusing it. I'm just saying it means people just got to dig deeper because this Jonathan Major shit caught everybody off guard. I was punching air at this. It was like I still think Beef is a super dope show. Like I hope it gets all the accolades. But like, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that it kind of flew under the radar until the show literally came out. It's like I'm not that surprised because people usually don't. People don't look for people to do dastardly shit.
Yeah.
It's like we didn't know Ezra Miller was a monster until Ezra kept coming up in the news. Oh god.
Just a slowly sus. So we've all seen Mario.
Yeah.
The things in this list: Mario, Last of Us, Mando. That's all I got on this, and Star Wars. That's all I got on this.
Star Wars. Mando falls under Star Wars.
Yeah, you can talk about Mario and Mando and a little Star Wars. Maybe the last of. I mean, just like how are we feeling about Mario?
So Will, you had your first 4D experience. What was that like?
Bro, that damn 4DX shook me more than like a Parkinson's patient having a seizure. That movie shook the shit out of me. It shook me like I was a baby in 1922. That shit shook me all night long. No ACDC. Good God Almighty! Mind you, here's the thing. It was fun. I would do it again. I didn't expect it to be so aggressive for the children's movie. That's what baffled me, because I think even you said that's the most it's ever like been for you, right?
Those Mario Kart scenes were fucking. You saw me. I damn near flew up the chair a couple times.
So did I. I was gripping the seat. I was right there with you. The minute they got over to a vehicle, I got scared. I'm like, oh shit! Like you heard me say it right next to you.
Yeah, I was not prepared for that. The first time I did it was for Avatar, and I made the mistake of eating while watching it. That shit fucked me up.
Throwing the fries and shit everywhere.
It made me nauseous, dude. I felt like I had to puke like during the first third of the movie because it was moving
you
so
here
much.
Flying through. I almost said flying through Navi. Flying through Pandora on this beast. Just...
No, seriously, that's what the shit was.
I'm curious as to Rainbow Road and the Blue Shell felt for you guys. 4D, I just saw it in standard.
Rainbow Road was raw.
I damn near flew up my chair, bro. I shit you not.
Yeah. Like it was, like, mind you, again, I think it made the experience better, but man,
it's aggressive.
Okay,
I haven't seen anything of 40 yet. I have no idea what the experience is like.
We will.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all should see some. What
if Zach hasn't seen Mario, I'd be down to go.
Okay,
I would do it again.
Okay.
Our friend's coming to town on Friday, so we're gonna meet up. But
okay.
yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it.
No. I mean, it at least to say you did it. I mean, it shook us probably more than most of the rides we were on at Universal. Honestly.
Yeah.
When I think about it,
because it's crazy. Because when we went to Universal, we went to the theater where Kung Fu Panda was, and when I was growing up, that's where Shrek 4D was. And I can't remember. I think the seats are about the same as what they were when I was young. And
I don't think they changed those seats one bit.
The theater is still there. It's now called the DreamWorks Theater, but they still have like the seats still move. And like there's still water and like effects and whatnot, but it's nowhere near to the degree that the 4DX in the actual theater is. It was like, like if it was on a spice level, this shit was like mild to no sauce, and 4DX was full on fucking the last dab.
Yeah, that shit was like ghost pepper.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck, dude? Just like
like DreamWorks was like ketchup. 4DX was like ghost pepper for Mars.
Yep. 100%. And I'm like, wow, I remember this shit being crazy when I was a kid, and it's nowhere near what 40X is.
No.
I'm about to go see Guardians 3. Pray for me. I'm about to go see Guardians 3 like that with my mom.
Oh, God.
I'm going to be flipping all around that fucking room.
Now I'm wondering if I should take my mom to see it like that. Or maybe I'll take her to Al.
I don't know if you guys have 40X out there.
We do. I just haven't gone to it.
You do?
I'm pretty sure.
No, I thought I looked and it wasn't in North Carolina. Or like there's like only one in like Charlotte or something.
Let me see. Because I'm almost certain, because I've definitely seen it as an option before. Yeah, we got one like 30 minutes from me.
Oh shit! Is that a Regal?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know exactly which theater it's at. Yeah,
Ian, it's like, I think you should see it like that too. I think you'd have a good time.
Dog, you can see Evil Dead Rise in 40X.
That's what
No, you can't. No, you can't. Can you really?
I think so.
I'm gonna look that shit up. If it is, that's how I'm seeing it. 100%. 1000%. It will be.
You actually get murdered.
Yeah. They're gonna stab you in the theater.
It's like, oh no.
Wow.
But I mean, telling you, I don't know how. My confusion with Mario has nothing to do with the movie. It has to do with like the critical response. Because two things confuse the shit out of me. One, Illumination. Why did you not expect this to literally be a children's movie if you're like a critic? And then two, people are having certain complaints. Like the creator of Mario was not a executive producer on the movie. Shigeru Miyamoto had all 10 of his Japanese fingertips deep in the production of this, along with a bunch of other Nintendo execs. They literally say the former president of Nintendo was another producer on the movie. Like,
Oh wow!
If you're mad about how the movie came out, take it up with the guy that made Mario.
And me personally, that's what I liked about the movie is that the attention to detail and the way they bridged in different eras of all the different games and the different characters, and just brought that just little Easter eggs left and right. I really felt like they did a great service to it. And my favorite part, I'd say, is the score and soundtrack at the appropriate times and moments. It was
I 1,000% agree with you on every point with that. I think it's just a great kids movie. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's funny. The cast overall does pretty good. Weirdly enough, okay, I would say I would mention this on the pod too. Aaron, I have to walk back my statement about Chris Pratt. He does pretty good in the movie. The weakest actor in the movie was whoever did Cranky Kong. So it's like I gotta give you
the writing and the directing because there was nothing inherently cranky about Cranky.
Fred Armisen.
Yeah, it was Fred Armisen. I was trying to remember the name.
Yeah. And it's like, but I thought Fred Armisen would be fine, but I also haven't heard his voice in a long time. Oh, that's who Sebastian Maniscalco was. Okay.
Yeah, he's like the Italian comedian.
Yeah. He was Spike, the angry former boss guy. Like, you're never gonna make it anywhere in this world, Mario.
See, I love the mustaches all the way throughout that movie.
No, the mustaches were
top tier.
Were dope.
Top tier mustache.
Great animation.
I think the weirdest thing is that the movie definitely gave me like complicated feelings about Peach that I had never had before, and now I'm asking questions that I don't know if I want the answer to. It doesn't help that it's Anya Taylor-Joy,
yeah,
who has a very like comforting speaking voice. But then like it was I think we were sitting. Whoops, shit. We were sitting in the theater, and she put on her racetrack fit and got on the bike, and I just looked at each other and started dying because we were thinking the same shit at the same time. It's like, I mean, there's a Peach, all right.
Damn.
I think you said it as I was thinking it, and that's why I started hollering.
Bowser's singing for a reason.
She's looking like the old T-Mobile commercials. Bitch trying to bring service across America.
I'm saying, like, I think even Jeremy Johns in his review, in his spoiler review, was just like, "Hey, look, I'm gonna be real. Peach had that arch." I'm like, Jeremy, you weren't supposed to say the quiet part loud. We were all thinking it.
Damn.
It's even in like that Peaches song, which is now just burned into my brain. It's pretty rare that happens, but God bless Jack Black and his magical Tenacious D powers of that song just lingering in my brain.
I'm surprised that TikTok hasn't abused that song for the power of thirst yet.
Give it time.
Right?
Yeah, that is surprising, actually.
Like each time it says Peaches, just flashes to like either a different Peach or just different variations of the same.
Yeah,
Peach
they've used it
in scandalous clothes.
Yeah, they've used it mostly for memes and not for the level of horny shenanigans that I would have expected them to. Especially with like how that scene is like done. I know it's like comedic and quirky, but they make Peach look kind of bad. Like bad, not opposite of good, but bad as in fine.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
I agree.
It's like, why do you throw that gloss on her mad heavy? I'm over here just like, I haven't looked at Peach in this light before. She looked a little different. And I don't know how to reconcile with those feelings.
Bro, I thought it was hysterical that Bowser was just like, like leader of the incel army, bro. It was just like, I'm the perfect man.
Oh, what was the one line he had where he was trying to hit her with the swag, talking about, Peach, you really know how to make a guy come out of his shell. And it's like, oh yeah, that was the. Yeah, he's over here like, this one here's a penny dropper. Okay, I feel less bad I had to check real quick how old Princess Peach is. I'm getting a lot of different numbers here.
I feel like Mario has to be in his 30s, so I feel like it can't be that bad. Peach is at least in her late 20s.
How old is Mario? Because I looked up how old is Princess Peach. I get 4 different numbers: 18, 19, 17, and 31.
What the fuck? What is this, the
Could
lottery?
not be more different.
What are these fucking lotto numbers? What the hell?
It seemed to be that Mario and Luigi were like pushing just maybe over, like pushing 30, just over 30, because their parents had that disappointment. Like they were trying to get their business started, but like, you know, it was a little too late. It was like, we're disappointed in you, you know? Like,
Maybe you age slower in the Mushroom Kingdom. Because
could be.
Yeah, but because
You talking about how Bowser was a whole munch again? He was the munchiest of the munches.
That was one of the things you said to have me screaming. We're just like, hey, Bowser's a whole munchie. Oh, do we want to talk about our favorite part in the movie though?
Oh yes, please.
We were seeing the movie next to this family of like 5 black people, and it was like 4 black women that apparently were like the biggest Mario fans. Like at the end, one of them was like, "Oh my goodness, I've been waiting 30 years for this." It's just like, God damn, sis,
30 years.
This was your end game. Damn. I mean, I respect it. You know, I didn't know there was a large overlap of black women and being Mario fans. Like I know there's women that love games. I know there's plenty of black women that love games. I didn't know there was a large overlap of black women and Mario fans, but here we go.
Yeah.
But my favorite joke in the entire movie was Bowser going to Peach and threatening her, being like, "I'll destroy your whole village unless you marry me." And there's a beat, and we hear 2 seats down, "That's blackmail." And the scene continues, and it was the funniest shit. It's a 75-minute buildup for one funny ass joke.
And it wasn't even in the movie. It was
so perfectly timed because it was a silence of her to like think about it before she's like, "All right, I'll do it." And it's just like,
and I was like, "Yes, it was."
Yeah, and we're just like, she was not wrong. Blackmail. I mean, shit, sis. You're right. Like she's not wrong. You are correct, madam. That is indeed blackmail. There's a couple ones throughout the movie that were funny as hell, but that was the one that stood out the most. But Ian, I know you got to dip out. Any final Mario thoughts? Anything you want the people to know? Unless we lost him and he disappeared into the void.
Oh, he's there. I see him. He's thinking.
It's too much pressure. I can't come with anything off the top of my head. I gotta get better at podcast.
Or Mando thoughts?
Yeah, any quick Mando thoughts?
Did you like the finale?
I did. I liked the penultimate episode a little bit better, to be honest. There was some. I liked. Did
you like the season?
Yeah, I liked the season as a whole, but yeah, the finale, it felt like they moved certain things a little bit fast. It was still super cool. Like it was definitely like better than anything in Boba Fett. But just like I feel like they could have done a lot more with as far as like you know, like the jetpack combat, pretty cool. But I don't know. I feel like they could have drew that out, made it a little bit more epic. But altogether, I had fun. I felt like they put a nice bow on it. I'm excited for the next season, so not mad at it.
Hell yeah.
Do you think they're going to change it and make Bo-Katan the new Mandalorian of focus?
Yeah, I feel like they kind of set it up to segue into Ahsoka with the way they had the Shadow Council, the way they name drop, spoiler alert, Thrawn, and you know, handing it off to Bo-Katan as the leader now with the planet in check, and now like Mando and Grogu are going to go off on their own adventures, and so now you can have like Bo-Katan and the Mandalorians and Ahsoka carrying on this whole thing with Thrawn and probably bridging in Ezra into live action, if not Sabine. Yeah.
Big Bean Rem.
Big Bean.
Big Beam.
All right, guys. I gotta. I love you, and I hope to come back next time. And
Yes.
sorry I wasn't more useful until the end here. Right when I was getting heated, I gotta go. Like,
okay, man. You're popping your pod cherry. It's okay.
Yeah.
First podcast. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry about all the audio troubles I kept running into that was preventing us from starting in a timely manner.
All good, man. All good. I was having fun the whole time, so that's what it's all about.
We will certainly have you back in the future, bro.
Yay! All right, excited to hear that. See you next time.
See you later, man. Have a good day. Damn, man.
Did we have much else to say about Mario? I mean, it's a great movie. See it in
it's a simple movie. I feel like we can touch on it light work.
Yeah. I think the only other thing is, ironically, with my prior to the movie from our last conversation, my whole critique is of movies not hiring like trained voice actors enough to be in actual movies. And funny enough, this movie does that. Like, the supporting cast are all names that I know. Like, I mean, Charles Martinet is in the movie, yeah, for sure. But he's also, he voices their father, and he also voices like that OG Mario looking guy. But like Kevin Michael Richardson, Reno Romano, John DiMaggio, Eric Bauza, Scott Menville, Kari Payton, like, all of those are really like popular actors. Really, really talented, really seasoned voiceover actors. So again, I kind of got to eat my words on this one a little bit. Mario's one of the few movies that not only has a pretty damn strong voice cast from its celebrity side, but also from just like its background. It has a lot of strong, familiar talent. Even Jessica DeChico, I think is her name.
DeChico?
Another one. I believe that's her name. Yeah, she voices Mario's mom and Mayor Pauline. I think thought Bree Summer was in it as well.
I don't know.
Because I thought she voiced the lady that was getting her pipes worked on. Could be wrong.
What?
Yeah. The one that they helped out.
Oh yeah. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for a sequel. Give me a Mario movie. Give me a Donkey Kong spinoff. Give me a Mario sequel. Give me a Zelda movie. Give me a Donkey Kong spinoff. Give me a Metroid movie. That's like Aliens, but for kids.
Give me all, and then after they all have successful franchises, give us a Smash movie.
You know where I'm going. That'll be their Avengers.
Bada bing. Somehow, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but if you can get Sonic in there, that'd be cool too.
I would love that. I hope that down the road we can get that. That Knuckles series just went into production too.
Which I'm surprised about. I didn't even know about that till like this past week. I'm like, Knuckles is getting a whole ass series? What the hell?
Wait, you didn't know about that?
I didn't. I was unaware. I was wholly unaware.
Yeah, no, that got announced like a week after Sonic 2 came out.
Oh wow. Huh.
Yeah. They just expanded like the cast roster on that.
Yeah, where do you even go with that? I know Eggman's not returning. Who's he gonna fight? What are you gonna do in a Knuckles series? And they're all in the same town. So Sonic and Tails gonna be in the show?
I don't know, but Knuckles has like plenty of lore with Angel Island and the Master Emerald and everything. But they didn't. Yeah. I guess they have the whole Echidna side story set up from the first two movies. Remember, because the Echidnas were at war, and I think they do have that plot about just the Chaos Emeralds and everything. So if they're just adapting that, they have plenty of stuff to do with the whole Echidna culture and him probably adapting to be in Earth and everything. But I want to see more of. I hope they haven't confirmed that it's Mobius, but I'm calling it Mobius until they tell me the planet has another name. I could be wrong.
Mobius.
Yeah, so I'm hoping they do more with like the actual backstory to Knuckles, because he's an interesting character, like from a game perspective. Just like, oh yeah, he was tasked with protecting the Master Emerald and all this, and maybe that's what they'll introduce. But we saw the Chaos, and we know where, I guess, spoiler for came out over. It's like, you know, Shadow.
Yeah, so it's came out like last year, so we can give spoilers.
But,
I'm trying to think.
What's up?
We got the genre stuff. We talked about not Sonic. We talked about Mario.
Mm-hmm.
You saw Evil Dead. I think you talked about that before the pod, though.
Yeah, we talked about that before. I mean, I can be real brief on Evil Dead Rise. It's a great movie. It's a great sequel. Well directed, awesome sound design. It's short, sweet. It's only an hour 40. It's pretty tight. Now I might need more time to let it sit. I think from a film standpoint, as far as what it seeks to accomplish of the movies in the franchise, from a technical sense, a somewhat from a writing sense, and a performance sense, I think it might be the best in the franchise of the films. Just because, like, again, you have your little plot contrivances, of course, because it's like riddled with WPS, but that's baked into the franchise itself. That's where the roots come from.
You know, it's crazy the fact that I believe you on that, because I haven't seen it, and I didn't want too many outside opinions about it, but I saw that Jeremy Johns gave it a what did he say? Buy it on Blu-ray or buy it on 40X or whatever. So I'm okay, for his ass to say that, and you know he's a fucking whore for nostalgia, that must mean it's the best, because nostalgia is preventing him from giving it the top spot. So it's why he has to give it better than Blu-ray.
Yeah, because mind you, I love the Reboot movie. I really like that movie. It put me on to Jane Levy, who's a fantastic actress. She's so good. But like, I hate to say it, it's like those characters, while they have interesting things to do, the movie is primarily focused on
the girl.
Jane Levy? Yeah, Jane Levy, and then her brother David primarily. Like, it has a nice bait and switch with that movie. It's officially been 10 years. It makes me feel exceptionally old. But like, I think it's one of the best reboots out there, because, you know,
agreed.
The bar is in the floor. But it's also, think about like the series it's from. Evil Dead 1 is a technical marvel only because they had like no budget.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2,
impressive.
You know, it's like, yeah, and here's the thing. Evil Dead 1 was supposed to be a horror, but because they had no budget, it wound up being funny, and they just leaned into it, which is how we got 2 and Army of Darkness. Don't get me wrong, I love the OG trilogy, but they're not like great movies. They're ambitious, they're entertaining, they're not really good.
I agree.
You know? So it's like you have those 3 movies, and then the reboot, which, again, from the themes that it sets up, it's interesting. Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here. I'm alive.
Oh, okay, you're good. But it's like, the reboot, which has an interesting sub-narrative that kind of pushes why they're in a cabin in the woods, I think a little better than even the original. But then the characters fall a little bit flat. For this one, there's some WPS that definitely pushes the narrative a little bit, but like most of the stuff that's like, but the acting is good, especially for kid actors. It does like it puts you in a situation where it feels like nobody is safe, and legitimately nobody is safe, because it shows you that, oh yeah, the kids can get it too. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to tell any more details about that. But once you realize that that's on the table, nothing is off limits.
Okay.
So you actually get a little concerned. You're like, oh, anyone might die. Everyone might die. You don't know until you see the movie. So that's ballsy. you know, and it's like the kills are creative. The way that they introduce the book, I think, is interesting because it's like it's a kid that does something where it's like, on the one hand, that is some shit that like a goofy kid like this would probably do. But I'm also annoyed as an adult. I'm just like, I would do that shit if I were you, but here you go being the weirdo, and then the repercussions of your own decisions and like how that plays out. But like the gore is really good, sound design is really dope. Uh, the actress playing the mom is really awesome. Um, yeah, like I think the leads are super strong in this one. Is it? This is like a weird aside. I'm wondering if it's an all-female cast. I feel like one of these actors or something. I gotta add it.
Oh, the kids are girls too.
I don't. They for sure have one daughter. The baby is definitely a girl. Because she's like 8, and then there's 2 teenagers, and I'm not sure what gender they are. And lo and behold, as I thought, the kid Danny is trans something, trans from somewhere to something, and the other actor I think is also LGBT. I trying to check Wikipedia, because it only has a page for one of but I think it's an all biologically female lead cast for a horror, which is exceptionally rare. That's something you don't hear about much.
It's not. That's wow. I look forward to seeing it. I think I'm seeing it Thursday. I'm like 90% sure I'm seeing it Thursday. But yeah,
it's a real good movie.
So I saw a few movies recently as well. Suzume, that was really good. That was really inventive with their animation style. The story was something unique because it was also like this young girl, female lead. She really didn't have any business being in that situation, but she has some ties to her past that make her connected. But she was just this normal girl who winds up on this adventure involving a door and a chair and a cat. And the music was beautiful and the animation was gorgeous. And yeah, it was touching. So I would recommend that. Also saw Air. Air was really good. Air was just like a classic sports movie. It's funny but not satirical. It finds humor within the situation, the story that they're in, and they find a way to surprisingly make the story about a shoe entertaining. I will say one weird thing about it, which is I don't know if it's considered a spoiler. I mean, it's the real life, but Michael Jordan is technically in the movie. Technically,
yeah. You told me about that. That was
they never show his face. They never actually you never see him. It's like kind of goofy. Like he'll have like a half face turn and like Chris Tucker will be covering his face, or he'll be looking at the walls, or they'll show from the back of the head. Like he'll be in whole ass business meetings and never say a word. His mother does all the talking for him. So, and I think Ben Affleck did that because he wanted to retain the legacy of Michael Jordan. Or like nobody can play Michael Jordan. I'm like, that's not true, but okay. But it's weird
because if you believe that, sure.
Right. The whole time I was sitting there, I thought that they're gonna do some deep fake shit and show like a composited Michael Jordan face on top of like some actor's body, but that would have been really fucking weird. So I'm happy they didn't do
that. I kind of figured they would go for the stand-in approach. So when you mentioned it to me, I'm like, probably the biggest ideal that you'll get.
And it worked. Marlon Wayans was surprisingly really good in the movie. It was the first time I'd seen him in anything serious. Chris Tucker was great in the movie. And Damon,
not Damon Wayans. What's his name? Matt Damon. Matt Damon's great as always.
Damon Wayans.
Matt Damon Wayans, the Fusion Hog. But the movie I saw most recently, I'd recommend the past two, is Beau is Afraid by Ari Aster. Written and directed by Ari Aster. Originally a short film by Ari Aster. Okay. And yeah, that's one of the strangest movies I've ever seen in theaters in my entire life. Because it's a dark comedy that is, how do I even, because Ari Aster's style is already unsettling. So but there's funny things in it. And it's like, the way the story is told, it's like from the perspective of somebody who has extreme paranoia and anxiety. So like things will happen and you're like, is this real or is this all in this dude's head? Is this like, and it's like 3 hours of like a dude getting kicked in the dick essentially. Cause like, I'm like do you plan? I'm not going to spoil it here, but I'm like, damn, this motherfucker is like really going through this shit. And it's like all the things of an irrational, fear-based mind, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So, it's just that
Murphy's Law.
It's just like, but it's a comedy or a dramedy more so. And it's like, I've seen people say online that it felt like Ari Aster just used this as a high budget excuse for A24 to pay for his therapy. And I can get that. I can understand that. But yeah, I walked out of this movie not knowing how to feel. It's definitely not for most people. And I saw it 2 days ago and I haven't stopped thinking about it since. So maybe it achieved its goal. Maybe it didn't want me to like it. Maybe it just wanted me to think about it and ponder over my opinion. I will say it's definitely not a movie you want to watch under any extreme substances because it may fuck you up a little bit.
Is that from personal experience or is that just like anecdotal?
I plead the fifth. No, no, but I'd say anecdotal. I will say that I read an article. Joaquin Phoenix himself said, "Don't watch this movie on mushrooms." He said that to
First
like
of all,
Variety.
I would never watch an Ari Aster movie under any substance. Let's get one thing clear. You'd have to pay me to do that shit, Playboy.
Yeah, it was a ride to say the least. I will say there is like a lull in the middle. You feel it, but then it picks right back up with the weirdness of the movie, and the third act is wild. And I will say it's a movie that I never know what's going to happen next. I never the entire time can predict shit because it's so oddball, it's so out of left field, and like it does a great job of putting you in Beau's shoes and have you feel this sense of dread that he feels, but you're in his shoes, but you're also the observer of it at the same time, which is fascinating. And it's like it's an odyssey, but it's also like a psychological study of this guy from inside his own mind. And yeah, that's the only way I can quantify that movie. What did I say on Instagram? I said it's an odyssey of following the feeling of fear, anxiety, and paranoia personified on drugs. A dark comedy by Ari Aster. Yeah. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, you should go watch it. But if that sounds awful, stay far away from it because you're not gonna have a good time.
How long was it? Like two and a half?
It is 3 hours long.
Oh fuck! God damn!
It's a 3 hour long fest of misery and.
I might have to wait for that one to hit streaming or the crib.
Nigga, knowing you will need to take breaks watching this movie. 100%. You will watch this in multiple sessions.
Because I watched Hereditary and Midsommar, the director's cut of Midsommar, both at home. Now that I think about it, I haven't seen a Ari Aster like movie while it was in theaters.
Maybe you should break that streak. You know what's the weird part?
could.
The weird part is that this movie's I saw it in IMAX. It's available in IMAX.
What?
Yeah. Yes, I'm like,
That's a
I
choice.
kind of get it because of like, there's a lot of points during the movie where there's a lot happening on screen, and like you're trying to like look everywhere. And Ari Aster does this. First of all, I'll say the movie is visually beautiful. The performances are amazing. Joaquin Phoenix, and then there's a couple other actresses who play his mother, and there's one actor. If you've seen the poster, you've seen this character Beau in different phases in his life. You see him like really old. You see him. You primarily follow him as like middle aged, like balding on the top, and you see a kid version of Beau. And this entire time, I was like, "Oh, this like that de-aging makeup on Joaquin Phoenix looks really strange, but also like really real at the same time." And I was watching, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's Joaquin Phoenix, all right." It was like, but he's a teenager, but he really moves like a teenager. And like they really got the mannerisms down and everything. Only to later find out after the movie that wasn't fucking Joaquin Phoenix. That was a whole other ass actor that just happens to look just like Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh
Who
my
just has
god!
a really weird looking face.
Damn.
Like if you saw my post on Instagram, you see like the kid version
Yeah,
of him.
I
That's
saw-
just another dude.
I saw the post of your story. It's like, no, that's just somebody else that happens to look like him. It's like, oh, the fuck did they find this kid at?
Exactly. Because he hasn't been in much, but he was great in the movie. He did a great job.
That's good.
And his performance was consistent with Joaquin Phoenix's.
Those are definitely two products I want to check out with the Suzume and what is it? Beau's Not Afraid.
Beau is afraid.
Beau is afraid. Okay.
He's very afraid.
Yeah, so it's like I mean, you know, if it's 3 hours, I mean, it can't be. I can't have less of a reaction than I did from like Avatar 2, which is the only movie I've ever been in that I can think of in recent years where I actually was like yawning and like shifting in my seat, taking times like, oh boy, this one is really going, huh?
That movie is boring. I'll say that. Like,
Yeah. It's not bad. It's just kind of boring. It's weird to think about.
I'll say Ari could have cut some stuff from the movie, but I don't say I was bored. I think he just wanted you to live in the environment, live in the present of his scene without cutting it.
I mean, I'll say this much: of the 3 projects I've seen by Ari Aster, I can't say any of them shits is boring. I can't look at an Ari Aster project and say, well, it was like, the story was okay, but it was visually, boring. Someone's like, no, the motherfucker knows how to keep you engaged, so I guess we'll see. Was there anything at all whatsoever we wanted to say about, I guess while we're talking about movies, was there anything whatsoever we wanted to mention about Ant-Man and or Scream 6?
Ant-Man was fine. People were shitting on it for like overreacting. I had a fun time with it personally. I liked it. I liked it more than Ant-Man 1 and 2 for my own liking. I thought Jonathan Majors was great in it. I thought it should have been a Fantastic Four movie.
You were right.
I'm all about weird sci-fi, but I feel like the story that was crafted would have been better.
Not even that it should have been.
And I feel like Peyton Reed really wanted to tell a Fantastic Four movie, and even said as much in interviews. So I'm like, wow, you just low key just gave your main characters second fiddle. Or
there's no low key. It just is a Fantastic Four movie, and I'm still super upset about my boy Triple Name being the placeholder because he couldn't get Donald Glover to do it.
Triple Name. William Jackson Harper.
Yes, William Jackson Harper, the old triple first name, playing a role that was clearly meant for Donald Glover. But now, because of that, and because Reed wanted to make a Fantastic Four movie without the Fantastic Four, but with the Ant family, now we can't get him as Reed. Thanks for that.
Looks like it's gonna be Adam Driver. I'm not mad at it. I don't hate it.
No, I don't want it.
Why do you hate it?
Here's the thing. I would take him more seriously as Doom.
He would be a great Doom.
I actually would. I wouldn't hate him as a Doom. I think he'd actually be pretty compelling as Doom.
I agree. I concur.
You know, but I don't really want to see him as Reed. A Penn Badgley Reed with an Adam Driver Doom would actually be very interesting.
Would not be mad at that.
Yeah,
that would be pretty good. And yeah, if it works out schedule wise with what's his name, Penn Badgley doing the last season of You and then going into production on Fantastic Four, he just walked himself into another franchise. That would be perfect.
Yeah, and that's if he wants to. I don't know as an actor if he's one that wants to be tied to.
Yeah, I think he wants to get back to music, if I remember correctly.
He does music?
Yeah, he has a whole ass band.
Oh, good for him. But yeah, I'm trying to think did I have any thoughts? I mean, visually relatively good. I mean, I think overall the movie's just kind of mid. Kang is fantastic. And in a lot of the recent news, that was very much kind of shattered my sentiments because
is it more mid than Ant-Man 1 and 2 for you?
It's more mid than 2. 2 sucks.
It's more mid than 2. Oh, 2 sucks.
Okay. Oh, sorry. It's when I say sorry, 2 sucks. It's better than 2.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Because 2 pissed me off and I thought it was stupid. 3, like you said, it's a Fantastic Four movie with the Ant family. The narrative did not fit the characters involved. There's a lot of silly shit in the movie that was clearly made for families and kids.
How did you feel about
MODOK? I didn't like him.
You didn't like MODOK? Did we talk about this? I loved MODOK.
I think we did. I think we did because we were on different paths of this. Because aside from the fact, like, I get it, people play MODOK for a joke. I hated the way he was designed. He looked like garbage.
It was so bad in the best way. It was so bad. I loved it.
He was so bad in the worst way for me. He looked horrendous. Like, not just like vision. Here, I would have preferred if they just took Corey Stoll's head and just put like a little thing on it and put him in front of a green screen. I would have rather they did that than the bullshit that we got and just put like a little thing on him like they do on Gumball, because Gumball is like a mixed media type show. That would have been way more interesting.
He looks like Thomas the Train. He looked like JJ the Jet Plane.
Yeah, terrifying.
I know. It was great.
Like a sleep demon. That's what he looked like. And like I hated the like that's a time where I actually don't like Marvel's humor, and I can think about it where Cassie just like, hey man, don't be a bad guy.
Don't be a dick.
Stop it. Don't be a dick. And it's like, girl, shut the fuck up with your no arc having ass. Oh my god. What a waste of Catherine Newton. What a waste.
Yeah.
You went through all this effort to get a I would say a relatively talented young actress that I'm sure they have franchise plans for, and gave her a nothing arc that has a setup that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'll say the ending was ass. Because I feel like they had a really cool opportunity to do something risky and different, and then they backpedaled that shit hardcore. Like, you could have left them
because they reshot it a month before release.
You could have either killed Scott or left them both in the quantum realm, and you did neither. You just get a nice wrap up bow, have them open the portal, not knowing if they're okay or not. Kang could have come through that portal for all they know.
Here's the thing: they had 3 chances because they could have killed Scott. Because it's not like he hasn't killed Avengers before. They could have trapped Scott and Wasp and Janet. Is it Janet? I think.
Hope.
It's Hope. Trapped Scott and Hope in the quantum realm. Or even after that moment where Scott is like having that realization, starting to question things. I thought that's where the movie was going to end. I was like, oh shit, maybe it's like a simulation, or like Kang hit him with the Watusi and like flip the script on him to make him think he's safe he's like still in the
shit
Matrix.
from Thor 1 where like Loki actually got out and like it showed Loki in the thing and like
yeah.
Cool.
Because like when Scott was walking, I thought like time was going to slow down, and he realized like I'm still in the quantum realm. Like something happened. He's like something's not right, something's off, and then it was just going to go black. So they had 3 chances to do something interesting, and somehow kept going, forcing the script to go past 3 good endings. Like, he was stomping that motherfucker out. He could have killed him then. And then Hope comes through the portal, and, you know, he gets sucked into the subatomic, subquantum realm. He's not dead. Because, again, the death doesn't make sense. He's not dead. I don't know why people keep saying he's dead. Same shit with Mysterio. He's not fucking dead. It's like, and then boom, portal closes. Could have ended it there. And then Scott thinks he's out scot-free, ironically. Go through the portal, has the setup. But then he realizes, no, something's not right about this. It's a psyop. You know, I got trapped by Kang, and this is a mind game. And he's going to, so, you know what he said to Scott? He said, you know, I could slow time down and make you suffer like this pain as long as I want to and make you wish for death. It could have been something that's set up in the damn movie, and they didn't do any of it.
They did not.
It just said, it's a happy ending. It's like, why? Why? You know what would have been interesting for the Ant guy, who has the two of the more happy-go-lucky movies, to have that grim, dark, interesting ending.
Yeah.
You know? Again,
they played it super safe, too safe.
It's not even only too safe. It's just silly writing. And the other thing is, I'm on Kang's side. He's not wrong. He didn't do shit that was wrong. He said, I'm out to do 2 things. 1, I'm trying to purge the other timelines so that the multiverse doesn't collapse in on itself from all these stray fragments that sprout out. And I want to get revenge on the other Kangs that sent me and trapped me here. Makes logical sense to me. You know, he said, you know, he's talking with Janet and everything, who we know for sure got her cheeks clapped by that man, because who wouldn't? You know, he's built like a Greek god. He's gorgeous, but like, freaking talking about it's like, well, but the other timelines die. Yeah, they do, but yours doesn't. Ain't like they gonna feel the shit,
right?
You know, it's like when we saw in Loki, people would get pruned. Yeah, they get caught off guard, but it's not like it's like they're not screaming into the void. They're like, oh shit, gone, poof, is dust. Yeah. You know, it's like, again, it is literally unaliving you. Yeah. Wherein it is just making you were alive. Now we undid. We undid that. You're not dead. You were literally unalive. Reversed.
Right.
Reduced to atoms. Like, you're not feeling that.
No.
You know, and Hope over here trying to be Captain Save a universe, Captain Save a everybody. Is like, oh, no, you can't do that. You mean Negro. It's like, dog, you're fine. Why are you worried about them? The timelines ain't. Here's the thing.
Worry about you.
Here's the thing. Either those timelines stay alive and eventually all get burned up in a multiversal war, because time will then start to time and space will collapse in on itself. So they'll actually die a painful death when incursions happen, or he just does. It's like pruning a tree. You just snip off the buds. Yeah, it might hurt, sorta, but it ain't like it's gonna feel it that long.
Yeah.
So either way, those universes are going. It's just a matter of if it's short and sweet now, or it's long and through a actual war, because it's cyclical. Like he said, Kang was not wrong the whole shit. He didn't do anything wrong. He had good points. I'm sorry, He was right. And then he says, well, your universe is going to be fine. Well, how can I trust you? I helped you rebuild your shit. You owe me that much shit. I can send you back to your family. Your universe will be safe because you're part of the divine timeline. Cool. You know what? If Kang comes to my universe, talk about sorry, bro, you're in one of the timeline strands. Yeah, I'm going to be upset, but it's like, am I going to feel anything? No, not really. Because you won't be alive.
Yeah,
You
we
are
can't.
literally.
Yeah, you won't be
You can't feel
conceived.
shit you can't feel shit if you don't exist. Literally, he's aborting timelines.
Yeah, that's it.
Can't feel shit if you're not there. If you don't have nerves, you know.
Jan don't trust him. She had a bad experience with a Negro in her youth, and she was still not
racism, bro. She from the 60s.
Racism creeped up on her in her final moments.
Yeah, she was a superhero in the 60s. She also, why was Hank there? What? Here's the thing. Hank had the funniest parts in the movie to me because he's just this senile old man yelling about ants the whole shit.
I thought Michael Douglas was kind of bad in the movie, if I'm being honest. I thought he phoned the shit out of that role. I thought
it was hilarious.
I thought he didn't know what the fuck he was.
I thought that was like the joke, is that he's just like this senile. He's like,
not Hank.
He's like, well, the ants.
Hank didn't know who the fuck he was. Not Hank. It's not that Hank didn't know what the fuck he was. Michael Douglas, the actor, didn't know what the fuck he was or what he was doing. That's what I thought. Because he was just
Hank didn't know where he was and what the fuck he was doing. They didn't give Hank shit to do. So I'd be confused as an actor too if you don't give me any damn direction.
Huh. I think, before they had Michael Douglas.
He really got sucked in because he was there.
Yeah, Michael Douglas had actual scenes before. Now he's just walking in the volume. Has to pretend that he's looking at silly creatures and shit. Michael Douglas has never done that. This motherfucker's was in Wall Street.
But here's the thing.
Theatrical.
He didn't really have any reason to be in the plot neither.
Because he was there. Because I guess he's in the other two. All right, I guess.
Yeah, he was. The only reason he got sucked in is here's the thing. They could have had him be with those ants the whole time, and then he comes in the climax, and that would have made way more sense than making an excuse for him to be there. If it was Hope and Janet going on a mother-daughter quest to be hey, let's go find your dad, and I'll explain and then they explain the quantum realm shit, that would have made more sense. And then he rides in on the ants, and the climax is they advanced 1,000 years through all the time and space fuckery that we didn't really explain that well in the movie. That would make way more sense if it's hey, we're instead of them trying to find Kang, they should be trying to find Hank. Well, they were looking for Scott and Cassie, but what made more sense? Ants, Scott, you gotta understand, spot the ants, and just again, just such a waste of poor Catherine Newton, who is a good, fun actress, but just well, Dad, you don't know what it's like to be a revolution, bitch. Bitch, you ungrateful raggedy bitch.
I saved the world.
Right. I'm sorry. You wouldn't be here. It's Dad wouldn't be here without and all your friends, all your teachers, all that shit. This was me.
Scott,
baby.
The crazy part is Scott didn't have an arc. All he wanted to do was care for his daughter and not be a hero. I thought it would have been stronger if he made the choice to actually be a hero and sacrifice himself, because he stopped being a hero after the Endgame shit. He just was coasting on vibes and was coasting on his books. But you're a comic book hero. You got to keep being a hero. That's your whole thing.
No, fuck that. I did what I did my part. You see all this shit here in 2025? That's me, baby. That's me.
You just done? You just stopped caring? You just stopped caring about crime? You just stopped caring about the little guy?
What crime requires
you brought back half the universe after 5 years of everybody having adjusted the fact that there are 5 years. You know how much chaos there would be if this shit was real? You gotta fix this shit.
You know who should do something about that? The U.S. government. Because clearly shit wasn't happening.
It was the entire world you brought back, not just the U.S. You gotta help the world, my boy.
Why is that my responsibility?
Because you're a hero, bro.
Get the shit back.
You're a hero. You don't
you want it back or no? Actually, first of all, First of all, he's an ex-con who got fired from Baskin Robbins. So fuck all y'all in the first place.
He's here to help the little guy. That's his whole thing. He has to help the underdog. And he's not doing that because he's making big money selling these books.
Yeah, you know how I help people? Inspiring them with my words. I'm a motivational speaker. That maybe I'm keeping people off the cliff by telling them that they matter.
You ain't inspiring shit if they can't afford your book.
Okay, I'll give it to them for free. Fuck it, I'm rich.
How you gonna make sales? How you rich? How you making sales if you ain't selling your book?
Rich people buying the shit. You know who's not buying? Bro.
So you gonna sell it to the rich but give it free to the poor?
Huh?
You're gonna sell it to the rich but give it free to the poor? That's gonna make the rich people not buy it. Like, why do they get it for free?
They sent me an email.
What? An email? What the fuck is an email gonna do?
I'll send you a PDF. Send me an DMs. Nobody thought to do it. It's like, hey man, can I get a book for free? Oh, bet. Oh, what made me different? Motherfucker, you asked. Did you think about that shit? No. You were the one in Barnes & Noble saying, hey, let me pick this up for $18.99.
All right. You Ant-Man, bro. What are you doing if you see a fire on the street? What you gonna do?
What the fuck is Ant-Man supposed to do to a fire? All I can do is get big and get small.
You're gonna make a fire hydrant big. You're gonna make a big fire, big water. Me take out fire with big water. Me throw disc at water. Water big. Water big.
We live in San Francisco. We're next to the water.
Me make water.
Get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it.
That sucks, bro.
I did my part, baby. You know your auntie that you hadn't seen in 5 years and she back now? Yeah, that's me, baby.
You're not allowed to have superpowers. You can't be a superhero. Huh? You're not allowed to have powers.
Why not? No,
because you're gonna save the day one, and you're gonna sell your book, and then people like save it. You're like, buy my book. Take yourself.
No, I can't have whack ass powers. First of all, I'm an ex-con.
You can be creative.
I'm an ex-con. The Avengers don't pay me. I'm not contract under them hoes. I'm doing this this shit.
They don't pay anybody. Sam can't get a loan. Clearly, that's volunteer work.
Yes, it is. Everything I do is volunteer shit. So if I want to make some money off of my hard work after saving the universe, I'm not an asshole. That's capitalism. Blame the president, baby.
I feel like you joining Luke Cage, you're gonna be a hero for hire.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Does that mean I'll never do pro bono work? No, because in my real life I've done that shit. But I got bills, bitch. This man has bill support. For sure he does.
I'd be a hero for free, but I would do jobs for hire. But only for I would build up my reputation for free so people know that I'm about it. And then I would do high-end jobs for hire. But only if it's more morally ethical.
I would be a hero for hire, but pro bono would be subjective. Like if I'm walking down the street and someone's like, hey, someone stabbed that person, I got the Spider-Man shit, I'm just it's not throwing my day that much out of whack. I'm not going that far. If I don't have to go that far out my way and it's not that crazy and I really feel like helping somebody, yeah, I'll help you out. If you come to me and just like, hey dog, my house is on fire, please. It's like my grandma can't walk, she trapped in there. Yeah, I'll help you out, bro. Yeah, I'll help you out with that. I'm not gonna be like, call the fire department. But if the whole apartment complex is on fire and I hear the siren,
you're gonna be like,
I might hold it for a minute, but bitch, that shit, as soon as they get here, cool, do your job. You're not gonna help us, bitch?
Right, bro. Then you're gonna help them, and you be like, you got Cash App?
I'm not saying that to the people inside. I'm saying that to the fucking fire department. the people inside, you're a victim. Yeah, I'm not charging you, but the fire department, hey dog, that's gonna be about $36.20 for my time. So y'all got Zelle, Cash App, Venmo. I'm talking to government officials and shit.
Okay, the government can pay you. That's fair.
Because here's the thing: if you a vigilante and you intervene in a crime, they can charge you for that shit. That's what happened to the Incredibles. Remember, he got sued.
You right.
Me putting myself in harm's way can be a liability to me. And you know, cops don't.
So if you're collecting funds for helping people, for being a hero, does that mean you got to put that shit in your taxes? You definitely do, right?
Yeah, that's contract work.
That's contract work. Damn. You got to give Sam back some money for being a hero.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's why I'm writing books. Passive income.
There you go. You doing commercials. You got a YouTube channel. You writing books.
I'm saying, bro, mass marketing. I'm writing books, doing interviews, all that. It's like, here's the thing. It's like all these people with powers. We got mutants and shit flying around, spider people, all these motherfuckers in New York. It's like, why am I the only one that got to protect San Fran? If you don't fly somebody the fuck in, where is Hawkeye at a time like this? Ain't nobody asking what that motherfucker doing to stop burning buildings and shit. Tell him to pull out his pool arrows. Hey, bro, pull out your fire extinguisher arrow. Somebody take that.
We need help out here. It's just me and Shang-Chi. That's all we got.
Right. It's me and a valet driver.
It's an ex-con and a valet driver. That's all we got over here in the West Coast.
Yeah, that's your damn West Coast Avengers. Fucking send people, bro. We ain't got shit out here. Winter Soldier, what the fuck he doing?
Fuck if I know.
Like that's what I'm saying. It's just like, look, if Scott wants to take a break, you deserve to take a break. Anyone that was there on Ground Zero helping preserve all this shit, you deserve a break. Even Valkyrie was doing commercials for New Asgard. True. They need money, bro.
They do.
It's like, I'm sorry, we're not in that socialist utopia that I dream of. Here's the thing: if I could afford to use my time to help out the little guy as much as I could, I would. But I don't pay the bill, sadly. Government ain't cutting me a check for that, so got to write books, do these interviews, do these podcasts and whatnot, bro.
Yeah,
gotta step that money up.
You fit in.
Streets moving funny. I got to focus on the money. You know what? It is what it is. It's always going to be what it always was.
And it's always going to be what it never was.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was it never? Nothing was the same. It was never the same. Ain't shit changing but the sky and the lights, baby. And lights get cut off. So
right.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, spoiled ass daughter of mine. That's like, well, you're not a hero every day. No, bitch, I'm your father, but I am your father every day. And shit, you see what we in right now? This self-driving car from my rich ass girlfriend, you know, that busted your pasty white ass out of jail, while all them other black and brown kids that were protesting are still locked up in the clinker because their parents can't afford bail. But you over here in this privileged ass whip. Yeah. But who the one talking shit now, talking about you never do anything with like all you do is promote your books. Yes, the fuck I do. You know that private school you go to? That's me, baby. Me and your almost stepmother over here. All them vacations and trip, flying around in Avengers jets, private jets. We got the key to the city in the crib. You were there with me in the trenches. When we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with your barefoot baby mama, I'm over here trying to steal shit so we can have money to pay bills. That's how Ant-Man 1 happens. Girl, shut the fuck up. You weren't there locked up in the jail with David Dismalkian and T.I. like I was.
You just know you weren't. You don't know what the fuck I've been through.
Yeah, fuck out my face with the bullshit. You were in jail for a smooth hour and a half. You know, there's a Tyrone, there's a Keisha, there's a Juan, you know, there's a Jimenez in there right now. Just be like, hey man, we was out here posted up for environmental crisis. They locked us up over no shit. And you just like, well, my daddy busted me out, so I'ma fuck with y'all. I'll see you in class tomorrow. No, them motherfuckers go missing. Like Nakia, Keisha, Taraji, all them ethnic kids still behind the clinker. It's like, well, you know, and they in holding. And it's a Friday afternoon. Shit, bitch, they ain't getting out till Monday. Ain't no homework, ain't no cell phone, just them and the vibes, I guess. But you over here like, you're not a hero anymore. Fuck out my face. Fuck out my face with the bullshit.
Damn.
Talking about you're not a hero anymore. Well, neither are you, bitch. Okay. but one of us
really feel.
Yeah, but one of us shook hands with Captain America and Tony Stark before he died. So womp womp.
Oh man, that gotta be a clip. That whole rant need to be its own clip.
Womp womp, bitch. Cry about it. Cry about it in our self-driving car onwards to our house that we own from this book money. Did you want me to be broke forever? What in the struggle love is that? This is Blue Ivy going to Beyonce like, Mommy, there's too many rooms in our house. What? Too many rooms in our house, Mommy. I don't like all the space that we have for me to walk wherever I want.
You ungrateful ass.
Hey, you're just fucking ungrateful, stinky ass. I used to clean your diapers in this motherfucker. I used to have to pay your child support off of Baskin Robbins that fired me because I was fresh out the box. I'm over here trying to find a job, support your mom after she escaped from Jurassic World.
Right, I'm chilling. Don't ask me for another damn thing.
He was like, don't ask me for shit. He's like, no, fuck it. It's like, you know what? We can turn this around. You can go right back into jail. Let you know what it's like. Talk to you in a couple months.
Bye, bitch.
Yeah. Fuck around and find out since you wanted to. Dad, you're just spoiled now. Or did my hard work finally pay off? I saved the universe. I'm the guardian of the galaxy in this hole. And I didn't have to die to do it. You know what? Morgan Stark ain't got a daddy right now. You know what you have? 2 parents. 3, actually. Yeah. You got dad, a mom, and an almost stepmother who's rich. You know what Morgan Stark has? She got an uncle that hang out with a spider motherfucker, and then a mom that sells discount bootleg crystals and shit. They ain't got no company. Pepper Stark wasn't building shit in a cave with a box of scraps. You know what she sells? Goop. We don't even know what the hell it is.
No.
She ain't got no dad. All she got is a cabin in the forest and a basement full of old suits of armor.
Damn.
She ain't doing shit. What Wakanda got? 3 dead kings?
He's still going.
Wakanda got 3 dead kings and a dead queen? They ain't got shit neither. What does Asgard got? No fucking home. Rainbow Bridge broke. Both they king is a whole ass woman that has to sell their trauma on ice cream cones for money.
Oh my god.
It's like you better count your fucking blessings. You saw what happened to that spider ass nigga over in New York.
She's like, damn, Dad, I'm sorry.
No, bitch, no, I'm not done. I got a lot to say.
I like how we were like, you want to talk about anime real quick? It turns into a fucking 45-minute conversation.
Just talking shit at this point.
Half of it is just fucking you abusing your daughter.
Yeah, it's like she complained for 5 minutes, and Scott's like, you know what, bitch, actually, because Paul Rudd is a nice guy, and I would definitely be on his side if he cussed his kid out.
You're like, hold my beer.
He'd be like, Hope, baby, can you pull over for a moment? What? Why, Scott? What's going on? Honey, I need you to pull over. I need to have a word with my daughter. Well, if you want to say it with her, you can say it with me. Get the fuck out the car. Oh. She does that, white woman. I'm gonna be waiting inside until we can talk about this like adults. that concerned white woman hair shake with the ponytail, just like I'm going to be waiting inside the house until you want to talk to me like an adult. It's like hit that child's like real quick. It's like, listen here, little bitch. I don't think you know. It's like, look, just because I've been nice and sweet and cute ever since I got up out the box, don't get shit twisted. I had a reputation in there, you know. Won't shit sweet in there, so I'm motherfucking get stabbed in the face. You know.
So I'm motherfucking get stabbed. Blah blah.
I was locked up in that bitch with a man named Frank Castle. They called his ass the Punisher. Punisher? Saw him walk through a hallway, killed everybody in that hole.
Damn. I'm sorry, Dad. I won't complain about another thing ever again.
Nah. You were in there when motherfucking Ghost Rider showed up. This man's head was on fire. Just a Mexican dude with a flaming skull and a leather jacket. I thought he was in a gang. I didn't know what the hell was going on. He was lighting them hoes up.
He was there for every Marvel instance ever.
He was there. Scott got around. Scott heard stories. Scott has seen some shit. There was this big ass black dude named Luke. Carl Lucas, they called him. He had a tiara on his head and chains around his neck. I thought he was a free slave. I was scared for my fucking life. Scott was there for every time somebody was in jail. He was right there next to him. Matter of fact, he was in jail because remember he got locked up with the Avengers for treason. You ever seen a redheaded bitch in a straitjacket? I have. I've only seen that in porn up until that point. I thought they were about to pull some freak shit. It was me, the redheaded witch bitch, Captain America, and his black best friend. All of us was locked up on the raft in the hot box, you know, with all the other terrorists, you know, people that have murdered and killed, genocided whole countries. I'm over here playing clinkety clank tic tac toe on the walls next to Captain America, talking about, well, you know, at least we got each other. The fuck?
This Scott Rambit is his own episode.
I'm just saying, Scott got a testimony. Scott goes to a black church. He got some shit to say. He said, I got locked up twice for trying to do the right thing in Jesus' name. Actually, he got locked up 3 times. He got locked up in jail. He got locked up on the raft. And then he got locked in the damn quantum realm collecting shit.
Yeah. Yes,
I've been locked up 3 times, little bitch. You were in there for 15 minutes just like, well, you don't know what it's like to be behind bars. Bitch, you don't know what it's like to be behind space. And you don't know what it's like to have your child behind a paywall. Bitch, you know, I was on house arrest. You were behind visitation rights. I had a Chinese dude come by every week to be like, are you still here at the house?
He did.
Do you know how it feels to not be able to go to the local Piggly Wiggly for some milk and a box of kicks?
I've never experienced such a tragedy.
Right. It's like, I can't go. I'm under house arrest because I was locked up in the big box with the fucking only racist man to get out of 1942, the only non-racist white guy from 1942 that still looks better than me with an ass tighter than mine. Now I'm over here in an apartment with an aunt that plays the drums as my best friend. Over here FaceTiming T.I. like, dog, how did we get in this position?
Damn. How did we get here?
Scott got a testimony for real.
You do?
He's like, I'm surprised Scott doesn't have more to say, more to get off his chest. Because he's well, if there's anyone in the Avengers that has a right to complain, bitch, and moan, it is Scott Lang.
And we explore that in totality today.
Right. Because like Scott got a lot, like don't get me wrong. Paul Rudd axed the shit out of Scott Lang. I wanted Scott to get his ass cooked, fried, filleted, creme brulee. I wanted the way that Kang lifted his foot up to A-Town stomp this grown 50-year-old man is some shit that I only see for people that are pissed at roaches.
Damn. Yeah.
Like, not, oh, eek, a roach. It's, this is the last motherfucking straw. That's what that stomp said to me.
Blop, blop.
Like, I went back and found video of that fight because that shit was so like he was pissed, as well he should be. He was boxing that man. He said, "Fuck, no sleeves." Said, "You ran me down with an army of ants. Now we got to box. Now we got to take it to the octagon." He's like, "Oh, what about my helmet?" Mink, mink, mink. I wouldn't give two halves of a whole shit because Kang was right. He had a right to whoop that white man's ass. I'm sorry, Scott. You have a testimony. You're not. Here's the thing. You believe you were doing the right thing. You weren't, but you believed it. You know, it's the power, that entitlement, that privilege, all that shit that your daughter had. But Kang was fully well within his right to beat the dog shit out of you, beat the brakes off of you, that helmet, that white woman you flew in with, that other white woman that's your daughter, that third white woman that he smashed. Not the old white guy. Hank's all right. He didn't really do much. No, actually, he wrote in on them ants. Sorry, you part of family, dog. You got to catch 2-piece too. These hands are ready to eat for everybody.
Whoop the whole family's ass.
Yeah. The Lang Pim family, everyone's catching smoke. I'm throwing hands with you, your girlfriend, your daughter, your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, all of them fucking ants you came in with, that square body ass bitch that's floating outside. You know, Patrick William Charlton, William Jackson, her triple first name, that fine ass warrior chick, the Goop Monster, sponsored by Gwyneth Paltrow. Everybody catching smoke.
Was that Pootie Tang, or like that the one dude just like going and slapping everybody who's coming past his way?
That wasn't Pootie Tang. That was like
that Undercover
British,
Brother.
Oh, that was like a British movie or something. The white dude?
No, it was a black dude who's like slapping everybody. Who's like, he walks past. He's like pimp slapping him.
I think that was Red Man.
Red Man?
Yeah, he has a song called "I'll Slap the Shit Out of You."
Let me see. Let me look it up.
It is literally a whole song about him slapping people, and it's hilarious. Can I borrow some money? Can I get some weed? Can I drive your car? Can you pay my rent? It's like the beats are actually slaps. The video is funny as hell. Smack the shit out you. I smack the shit out you.
I had never heard this song before.
It's a fantastic song, and it should be Kang's theme. Can I borrow some money? Pap. Can I get some weed? Pap. Can I come to your universe? Slap. Yeah, I don't know. We got anything else to say about Quantumania other than
I think we did it. I think we said all there is to ever say about Quantumania.
I think the Council of Kangs was interesting, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, that was something. And then the tease for Loki season 2, that was decent. I look forward to that.
Timely. So I guess we'll see where that goes at the end of the year.
Yeah, we did it. That's gonna be a whole clip of it in and of itself of you ranting about fucking Ant-Man.
Oh man, especially because I think the last episode was literally Ice Spice's Kang, which makes it even funnier. I'm pretty sure that's what the last episode's image was.
Kang Spice.
I forgot what we called it, or what I named the episode. But, yeah. About other shit that we want to get to with the time we have.
How are you doing on time wise?
Do you want to talk about Swarm and then get out of here?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Hold on. We can briefly do Marvel trailers, then we'll do Swarm, and then we'll do.
Okay, I'm with that.
What do you think about Secret Invasion? I think it looks good. I like the tone.
I like the tone. Reminds me of Civil War. Don't know too much about the story. Don't want to know too much about the story until I watch it.
Yep.
Nicholas Cage. Samuel L. Jackson.
Nicholas Fury.
Nicholas J. Fury. Looks like a great lead. I'm excited to finally see the story from his perspective and see who makes it out alive. Clearly, we know he's making it out alive because he's going to be in the Marvels. And I just can't wait to watch it. I don't know what there is to say about it. I wonder if this is going to play into all the Kang stuff. I highly doubt it, but I just gotta wait and see.
Yeah. I guess we can. Yeah, I just agree with you on all fronts. I guess we can talk about Marvels. It looks great. I'm excited. They fixed Carol's costume and gave her 2 good new costumes. I, for the most part, like Monica's design. Still not on board with Kamala's design.
Kamala's ugly as shit. That new costume, like I love a
both
lot
her
of
costumes are ugly as shit, but this one is somehow worse.
I like her. I like her Marvel show costume. I think it's good.
I don't. Weirdly enough, the game got it perfectly twice. It has 2 perfect costumes in. They said, "Nah, we're gonna over-design the shit out of this." So I'm hoping she gets a proper, more sleek, just simple. Keep it simple, stupid. But other than that, I think it's a good trailer. The villain looks like a whole nobody. But I do think I'm excited to see how Nia DaCosta's directing is for this. Because it looks fun as hell. I love the tone. It made me laugh. It made me excited. I am hoping that we get to see Bree have range. I'm hoping we get to see Monica cuss Carol out for abandoning her as a stepmother, because that's what she is. I'm not debating anyone on this. I'm dying on that hill. And then I think Kamala is just going to be the best because she is. And God bless Aman Vellani for getting the universe name right, which will lead us into the next one. But yeah, you got any other thoughts on Marvels?
It looks fun. I saw a version of this trailer at D23 last year, and looks pretty much consistent with what I saw tonally. I said it was very different from Captain Marvel. It looks closer in tone to Miss Marvel, and I'm happy that her family is there. It looks like Kamala is going to be the heart of the movie, the beating soul, and I think that even if Carol sucks, which I don't think she will, I'm going to say that now. I think this movie is getting unwarranted hate because motherfuckers have weird beef with Brie Larson, and
I think it's more about
Brie
than the 2 brown girls. Funny enough, which is like, for once, I don't think it was mostly racism. I think it was mostly just people hating Brie. And I mean, even when I was out there, we talked about the Brie stuff. Like, my issue with Captain Marvel isn't so much that she's not likable; it's that I think
it's underwritten.
Yeah, she's underwritten because she has no obstacles, and even with that, even if she didn't have obstacles, they didn't make her interesting. Because here's the thing: it's a difference between she's boring and flat. As a character, all we know is that she's super strong.
She's stoic and she's strong, and she's good at everything. And we just need to add some more layers, more depth to her. What has she been up to? I don't think it's too late to salvage Carol.
No, I don't think so either. And I'm also, again, it's like I told you. It's like I'm perfectly fine having a character that I don't like. I don't like Loki, but I don't think he's a bad character. I just don't like him, and that's okay. Two things. It's like, I think that's actually pretty progressive to have a woman who's a leading lady who's super powerful that isn't likable. A woman doesn't have to be likable to be competent. Carol's incredibly competent, but it's like she's underwritten right now, and they could write her and make her unlikable, and that's okay. We don't have to like her in order for it's like that dislike. I think is actually a more interesting character thing. Like the lead character from Gone Girl. I fucking hate her, but she's a good character. She's an exceptionally well written character, and that's a great movie. I can't watch it twice because it pisses me off. But she's fantastically acted and very well written.
Agreed. It's I think I trust Nia DaCosta. She's a great director, and I think that if they can retool and redesign characters' personalities, like from Thor 1 or Thor 2 to Thor 3, I think the same can be done with Carol and Brie. I think it's not too late. Brie can act. She's great. She won an Oscar, for fuck's sake. She's an actor.
But it's like you got to give her something to like act for. And like
part of the problem is it's just the way the Marvel works, because they'll be filming stuff without even knowing how the shit ends, and I think that they'll do this thing where they'll have actors sign on because it's just this mega franchise, but the actors don't even know what they're signing on to do or signing on to be, and I feel like it's untraditional from what I know from most actors taking on roles, because you read a script, you find the character of the script enticing, and then you go from there. But with Marvel, you're just kind of walking in blind and like, all right, I guess it'll be what it's going to be, and if it sucks this time, I guess they'll have time to redeem me in whatever project they do. Speaking of which, a little side note, because it's about to come out, I really hope they redeem Drax, because that man got dogged the fuck out from what he was in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie to what he became, this buffoon, and I think that he deserves to be serious and have like real heart behind him.
I think that the big, I guess if we hop over to Guardians real briefly, it's like I'm interested in the movie. I'm gonna try to rewatch the second one before 3 comes out the same weekend as my partner's birthday. That is just in terms of me trying to figure out how to schedule that for myself. But it's just like they're putting a lot of stock in Rocket, and I don't like Rocket. And I also don't particularly, it's not only that I don't like Rocket, I also don't particularly care about Rocket, and I thought he was a big piece of shit during the second movie. So if I rewatch the movie and I feel that sentiment, and then it's like, oh, the little raccoon man, I will kick that bitch into the sunlight. I don't care.
But he's a little Danny DeVito raccoon man. He's a little guy with a sad backstory.
I don't give a fuck. He's a dick. Fuck him.
He's a dick because he uses his dickness to deflect, because he's experiencing a lot of pain, and he doesn't want people to care about him or see him because he doesn't want to be seen as weak or small. So he uses his big tough bravado as a defense mechanism for him not being comfortable with himself.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that front, but I'm not his therapist, so I don't give a shit about how the fictional raccoon feels.
I care about the raccoon. I get him. I want to hug him and let him know it's okay. You're accepted. I want to punch him
in the face.
You're accepted, Rocket. You don't have to put your guard up. You can let it down.
You're not accepted here, buddy. Not in these parts.
I accept you.
I don't. We discriminate over here. Don't let me catch you on the stoop, bad boy. I'm coming out with a baseball bat.
Damn, bro. I think you need to watch the movies again. Maybe like it's been a long time, bro. Just give him a rewatch. I don't think he's bad as you think.
I told you, it's like I'm gonna try and rewatch the second one.
Rewatch both. It's the conclusion of the trilogy.
Sure.
I'll just rewatch Guardians 1. That shit still holds up. Like I've seen that movie a lot of times.
No, Guardians 1 is a great movie. It's just like, me, it's like it takes a lot for me to rewatch something if I know what's happening.
Oh yeah, I get it. I still get stuff out of it. I don't know. I feel like I picked up on new stuff I didn't catch the first couple times. And like I don't know. It doesn't. I think
Guardians 1 is great, and then Guardians 2 unsettled, just like stirred me so wrong. And Suicide Squad is James Gunn's best Guardians movie so far. But I'm trying to figure out, picking the High Evolutionary as a villain and including Adam Warlock in the plot. I have no earthly idea where this movie's going to go. So it definitely has my curiosity because I'm just like, the hell are you doing? Because my understanding of the High Evolutionary is from Spider-Man Unlimited, which I guess that can lead us into talk about Across the Spider-Verse's trailers. But yeah, it's like I'm not banking or betting on the movie being bad. It's just like I kind of have zero expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I can't see myself really getting disappointed by this movie. I just don't have a crazy amount of enthusiasm for it either. Like the first Guardians came out of that, I was on fire. That shit was dope. The second one, I was like,
so Guardians
the third
killed
one,
all of it. Guardians 2 killed all of it for you.
It didn't kill all of it. Because like I said, Guardians 1 I still think is great. I still think that's a really strong movie. The second one, not all of the goodwill, but it undid a decent amount of it. So, but then I saw Suicide Squad. I'm like, okay, so James can do it. It's like I think I have to just watch, and I like the holiday special, So it's like I think I just kind of got to walk with James and figure out where he's taken. I don't hate James Gunn. I think he's an exceptionally talented writer and director. I think if there's anything that he can do, is know how to appeal to the humanity in a person. I'm just not of the camp of banking on the fucking trash panda being, the heart for me. But again, he's a good writer and a good director. So I'm at best imagining for that character's arc to be like, okay, that was well executed.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting it to be bad. If it is bad, I will be surprised. Because James Gunn is talented. So it's one of the few people I think Feige lets kind of do what he wants, to the fact that they're letting him drop an F-bomb in it, which is astonishing.
You know what I just realized? This movie may be the most important comic book movie to come out in maybe the last few years, because one, it's the most important movie to come out in the last few years for both Marvel and for DC, because of James Gunn's position and because of the state of Marvel right now. Because I feel like a lot of people aren't too thrilled with the state of Marvel given the last few projects. Granted, I haven't
they're in a transitionary phase.
Yeah, they're in a transitionary phase, but a lot of people weren't thrilled with Ant-Man and the Wasp. Or a lot of people weren't thrilled with She-Hulk, and just like the products we're putting out. Same thing with DC. A lot of people haven't been thrilled with DC's products, and this is James Gunn's send off to Marvel right before his next big project of Superman. So, if this movie,
that'll be his next big theatrical one.
But if this movie isn't good, this will. Because Marvel's already in a place where people aren't really fucking with them as much as they used to.
But it'll influence people's sentiments towards James Gunn because he's writing Superman
exactly, because this puts Marvel in a weird position of a tricky position, because people already aren't fucking with Marvel. Like, damn, if the closer to this franchise is bad, then there's really no hope for the Marvel universe as far as general public is concerned. This is the make or break your movie for Marvel, and this is going to be the most recent thing James Gunn has done to get people invested or garner hope for the future of DC.
Yeah, before he comes out with Creature Commando and Waller and everything too. Now, granted,
but he's not writing those. Well, I think he wrote Creature Commando, but as far as big screen goes, because Superman is the big.
It'll be his next movie, but I think he is pretty heavily involved with at least Waller, because that's a spinoff of his own baby.
But he's not writing Waller; he's just producing it. He has a creative team for Waller. Granted, his wife and the people from Suicide Squad are in Waller, but they're not going to be written by James Gunn, even though he's obviously a producer and he's the head of the company, so he's going to have some say in how shit goes. But yeah, I think Guardians is going to weirdly be important for both companies, given where James Gunn stands and where Marvel is with the general public right now. Because I know a lot of people, at least in my life, have talked about the feeling of Marvel fatigue or like Marvel slipping or falling off. And I feel like if a franchise that's not new and that's closing off something that's unrelated to the multiverse saga is slipping, then that makes the whole house fall down as far as perception goes. Because I'm like, damn, Marvel just ain't been hitting since Endgame. And even the shit I liked before Endgame is still missing. They've had it twice. They've had it with Ant-Man. They've had it with Thor. Two franchises were both before Ant-Man. They were both before Endgame, and they both fell off. Granted, the Spider-Man, at least one of the Spider-Mans, is the exception to that rule. But yeah, we just need this movie to be a win. And
yeah,
I have high hopes. For it.
No, yeah, I'm at the end of the day, I'm relatively optimistic for the movie. I mean, he got the costume designs right finally, so I know that Luke is happy about that.
Another thing I think is interesting as far as positioning where Guardians are at this point in their career, I guess, is the fact that Guardians 1 and 2 take place very close together. So they're still figuring
they're only,
their shit out.
What, a couple weeks or a couple months apart chronologically?
I think a couple weeks, couple months. And they're still like not sure what the fuck they're doing, or like they're still pretty early. By this point, they've probably been the Guardians for years, and Nebula and Rocket have been doing this superhero shit for a good while now. So the fact that they're full-blown heroes have been around who knows how many years it's been by the time we get to Endgame, by the time we get to the movie. But to finally see them as full-fledged Guardians protecting and as heroes, I'm looking forward to seeing, because we haven't seen these characters at that point yet.
Yeah, especially with like Mantis being more integrated into the team and Nebula being like a full member, and whatever the hell they're doing with Gamora. I have no idea what they're doing with her. That's probably the biggest mystery, is just like, the hell are they doing with her?
Right. Who freaking knows?
Yeah, so it's like, where is that one going? But oh, we want to talk about Spiderverse. I mean, it looks great as expected. I'm excited. They have the universes right, just like based on Vellani. So,
no, it
looks fantastic, and I'm super excited. I don't even hope it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good.
Oh, agreed.
I feel it in my spirit.
I do as well.
Yeah, so it's like I'm not worried about Spiderverse. You know, the more, I both want to know more about it, but I don't want the plot spoiled for me. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
like, until the movie comes out.
Good. As far as knowing information, I just want to watch it. I don't want to watch any more trailers. If they come out with more trailers and clips, I'm not watching any of that shit. And I'm happy that the second trailer didn't like give the bag away, because we still don't know a ton. And I'm happy that, based off what I know about the movie, it feels like they're burying the lead as far as who the antagonist is supposed to be. And I'm happy about that. So I just want to see.
Because I know Spot's going to be for both Across and Beyond. He's going to play a pretty big role.
And there's a connection between those characters, but the trailer, you can't really tell that. So I'm curious to see what that connection is, and just how it plays out. And I feel like because they tried to get Holland to have a role in Into the Spider-Verse, he definitely has to be popping up in either Across or Beyond.
They're probably saving it for Beyond. I imagine, because that'd be a pretty big, cool thing, and I don't think they want to take away from Miles' story, but they do want to have like a big climax. But again, I called all of this shit in 2019, and it's really weird seeing it come to fruition.
Ooh, okay. I have a guess. I'm gonna guess that Holland will have a cameo in Across, and will have a role in Beyond.
I'll build on that. He'll have a cameo in Across, and him, Garfield, and Maguire will probably have a minor role in, like a speaking role in Beyond.
Okay. Because he already gets a reference, a mention, so I feel like he's gonna show up.
And the way,
but if he does show up, I would rather him be animated than make Miles live action.
Well, so the way I had pitched it is, it'd be kind of a hybrid thing, where not for the full movie, but there's a sequence where you would have like the voice actors, because they do look like they're fucking characters, briefly swing as they're traversing universes, kind of like that Doctor Strange sequence, where you have one where they are in live action, and it's just kind of a whoop, where it's just like, oh my god, Miles was Shamik Moore for a second. But I had it with Miles, Peter B, and Spider-Gwen, which I don't think that'd be that hard to do. But it's like, yeah, as they're, I'm trying to remember what I said. Because, again, I called a bunch of this shit like 4 years ago, down to like the interdimensional Sinister Six, the crossover with the live action movies. So it's like there was a swinging sequence when they're traversing the multiverse. I called the multiverse shit. God, yeah. I mean, I knew that was coming, but it was like, that was, yeah, because I had called it because I said this should be the plot for before it was named No Way Home, just like Spider-Man 3. And then I'm like, oh, if they're really crazy, they'll have Spider-Man 3 eventually tie into the Spider-Verse movies. And then screw it. You'll have your interdimensional Sinister Six, which is exactly what they did. And then you can have your cameos where it's like they team up with the other live action Spider people, and you have like the animated ones played by their actors, and then they go back to the animated dimension and they finish the fight there. Now, I said this like 4 years ago, and it's weird that it's starting to line up. I'm like, so either I'm Nostradamus, I'm Negrodamus, or someone watched my video. It was oh wait, no, it was prior to 2019. It was a couple months after. It was before we knew 3 was going to happen, because it was still when things were in flux with Far From Home. After Far From
Home. Okay.
So when was No Way Home? No Way Home was 2020.
No Way Home was 2021.
Okay, I did this video prior to the pandemic. I remember that. So I think it was 2019, because it was before I graduated, because I recorded it in my room. So I'm like, somebody saw my shit, and it's very weird that it's starting to come to fruition, and there is now there is evidence of it. And when it's just like, oh yeah, it'll be crazy. They can do the interdimensional Sinister Six, and they can cross over the movies. Because I said it because I didn't think it would happen. Then it started happening, and I'm like, yeah, Sony would be the ones crazy enough to do it, but then you're gonna get like these mega crossovers, probably in Beyond, where we're gonna get Morbius and Kraven and Venom and the Spider Women all crossing over, so they can do their little end game sequence, but with live action people. So they're gonna have the human casting of Miles, and they're gonna have Spider-Verse Miles, and they're gonna have the 3 Peters, and they're gonna have Emma Stone, Gwen Stacy, and all fighting like, and Tom Hardy Venom, and who's your boy Quicksilver, Aaron Taylor Johnson Kraven, and all of the Spider Women from the Madam Web movie, and they're gonna be fighting the Inheritors or some shit like that, and that's gonna be the sequel combo ultra. It'll be the Dave Filoni Mandoverse crossover between the Spider-Verse movies and the MCU ones, and that's how it's all going to culminate in the Sonyverse.
Okay.
Now let's wait and see in about 3 years how much of that I got right.
Keep the clips. Keep the clips.
Yep. So.
Okay. All right, do we get them all? Do we get all the trailers?
We got all the trailers I think we wanted to talk about. I think the last one we wanted to talk about before we got out of here was how fucking good Swarm was and why that show deserves all the Emmys. I cannot wait for Dominique Fishback to sweep at the Emmys next year.
Oh yeah.
Followed by,
I hope so. I think she will.
Followed by Ali Wong and Stephen Yun with their multiple nominations as well. Because that show is so good.
Beef was incredible. Beef was awesome.
Beef deserves a bunch of Emmy noms, and so does Swarm. I am still Swarm. I think is still my favorite, but Beef is like a close second. It's so good and it's so strong and it's so well written. I think Swarm is a little tighter, and I think Swarm stayed with me a little bit more in terms of what it does and what it talks about and how it structures itself. Because especially with that second to last episode, I haven't seen a show do something like that. In terms of basically, because I explained it, talked about it with you when we were in the car and hanging out. But episode 6 was kind of a mind fuck going into episode 7 because it makes you question the reality of perspective with which the show in its totality has been presented.
Yeah, no,
because
makes it you question the events of what you actually watched because, like, wait, is this actually or is this all from her perspective, her mind?
Yeah,
and
like you
do that.
You know that Dre is an unreliable narrator, but you can't tell if what you're watching is Dre, the actual person that committed these murders, or if it's the fictionalized version of Dre that Donald Glover said that he was producing in an in-universe show that's adapting the story of Dre. So is it her viewing herself that we're seeing through her lens, or is it Donald Glover's interpretation of her viewing herself through her own lens? And that mind fucked me when I put the pieces together, especially with God, it's such a good fucking show. And even from the start, you know, when I listen to conversations about the show, the realization that there's a high probability that Marissa may not have killed herself, but that Dre murdered her and maybe a crime of passion. Once you realize, like, the phone being on the charger, but her calling her from the phone, but then Dre being at the other location. Like, there's a lot of gaps in the story. Her clearly having a thing for Marissa, you know, that's like, I don't know why people aren't talking about that enough, about like this unhinged, traumatized, mentally ill young woman that's also clearly hiding the fact that she's gay. And then it comes up again at the end, you know, and her obsession with this bonding music that she shared with Marissa intertwining with her emotions and her repressed sexual and romantic feelings towards Marissa kind of coming to a head and manifesting as this murderous intent. Billie Eilish's acting was phenomenal in that episode with the little cultish enclave. I love the production. There's a part that you had mentioned that was hilarious about, like, every time she would kill, she would eat, which seemed like but it'd always be like junk food. So it seemed like a coping strategy. Just God, I may have to watch that show again. It's so damn good. Start to finish. Just metaphor, like even the shoddy VFX of like Marissa's face literally pasted over Nija, I think was really intentional. Because you know they could have just gotten Chloe to just wear an outfit like that. but they intentionally did it to kind of highlight this is how she sees them, as like this fused concept, and how the end of episode 6 just directly tells you how the show ends, but then you see it, and there's the subtext at the show ends of like the red and blue flashing lights when Nyjah embraces her in the car. Oh God. Like you just break down every episode and why it's so good.
Yeah. I thought episode 4 was really strong. I thought episode the last one was at 7. That was really sad and really a trip to see how the show wrapped up. And then the episode 4, I didn't even know that was Billie Eilish until like I had to look it up. I'm like, dang, this chick looks just like Billie Eilish. That's wild. I was like, Billie Eilish. But it didn't register that it was her because in my brain, I'm like, oh, Billie Eilish is an actress.
Billie Eilish doesn't actually sing.
Acting, it looks like Billie Eilish. She's doing a really good job. I'm like, oh, fuck, it is her. Oh, damn.
And I could tell it was her just because Billie Eilish has eyes that kind of set off I don't know, she has an aura to her. I'm just like, I'm like, oh shit. It's like, man, this chick looks just like Billie Eilish.
But I recognize that thing you're talking about. No, I know. Like I've seen other people with eyes like that. Like, but just it didn't register in my brain that it was actually her. Just because I'm like, no, I just couldn't fathom the fact that Billie Eilish was an actress.
Yeah, like because she, with all due respect, they dress her very dressed down. She's dressed very plain.
Mm-hmm.
And very like casual, which I mean, that's how Billie Eilish sometimes dresses. When I first heard about her, that's kind of how she dressed. But like seeing her in this, she has a very hypnotic form to her. I think is the best way to explain it. Because have you seen that chick on TikTok? That beautiful dark skinned chick with blue eyes, just like Billie?
No.
I'll have to find her and send it to you. She's stunning. And I'm pretty sure she's a model, but she has like that same kind of energy where it's like she has it's like hypnotizing with their eyes. You kind of get sucked in. They're like pools of clear water.
Whoa.
So that was kind of a way that I could sense it was Billie. And then I'm just like, that's Billie Eilish. That is Billie Eilish, especially with like her vocal intonation is very not seductive, but it's like enticing and calming in a way too, because I think that's how she could have that psychological effect on Dre. So I think even the casting of Billie Eilish was like a deliberate thing of having this kind of empath type white woman presuming that she can basically read Dre, and she does, but Dre doesn't like it because it's like, oh, she's digging too deep and knowing too much. Now you've got to go, bitch. You've overstepped. And just Dre being on the run and sleeping in her car and everything, and then you get to the last episode, and it's so good and it's so brutal. With what was her girlfriend's name? Played by Kiersey Clemens.
Oh man,
fine Kiersey Clemens, gorgeous, super talented Kiersey Clemens.
Oh yeah, no, she was great and she was gorgeous. She was everything. Rashida.
She was, man. Rashida, man. When Rashida showed up in that pantsuit at the end, right at the end before all the shit went left. Oh man, she was gorgeous.
How'd you feel in a way, huh?
Man, I love me some Kiersey Clemens. I love seeing her in stuff. I hate that she's gonna be in the Flash, but
yeah, that's a well, maybe I think she's gonna be good in it. I feel like
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about her being good. It's just the fact that after this movie, we will probably never see her again. Get to be Iris West.
That's true. Hopefully, that's not the case. Maybe they'll recast Barry, but she gets to stay.
I'm fine with that. Or hear me out. Hear me out. The new Flash is Wally West, and it's about Iris and her brother. And we just let that motherfucker go to the wayside. There you go.
Ooh. Okay, hold on. I got a good idea. If she's Wally, Or if she's Iris, I may have a good idea for Wally. Hold on, what's his name? What's his name? Calvin Harrison Jr. They can be siblings. You know who that is? You see Waves? He's the new motherfucker who's gonna be in the. What's it?
His name is Calvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah,
Kelvin.
Kelvin. There you go.
He's beautiful. What the fuck?
You never seen any of the movies he's in?
I'm looking now.
Apparently, he's in the. You've seen that one.
I've seen of him because I meant to watch Loose.
I heard that's a great movie. You should definitely watch it.
He is a beautiful man. Yeah, they could absolutely be siblings. No, yeah, I'm with you. He's gonna be Scar in that Lion King spinoff.
Oh shit!
And he's gonna be Jean-Michel Basquiat. What in the?
Yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't been caught up in a superhero movie yet.
Okay. So I've seen him in one thing. I've seen him in The Photograph.
Yeah.
And that is it.
Yeah, her and him can play siblings, and he could be Wally West.
Absolutely.
He is 28, but still, I think he can do it.
No, I'm 100% behind this. You don't got to be a kid to play Wally.
Right.
He can play, he can black don't crack. He can play young, but man, he is an incredibly handsome guy. This man is beautiful. What the hell? Yeah, they're both fine as hell. They could definitely be siblings. Shit, they should model together. What in the? I am enticed and perplexed by this.
With the
lot? With the lot? This man is gorgeous. My goodness. You know what he looks like?
Huh.
He looks like a non-problematic version of your boy from Empire.
What Empire?
He looks like him with a beard and mustache. He looks like a non-problematic Jussie Smollett.
I think he's more handsome than Jussie Smollett.
I mean, I think Jussie Smollett is handsome, but this man is beautiful.
Oh, Juicy Smollett?
Yes. God,
I don't know why I think you were talking about Justice Smith for a second.
No, not Justice Smith.
I was like, I don't know about that. But like, Juicy Smollett.
Justice Smith. No, Jussie Smollett. Journey Smollett's brother.
I can see it.
He is I am flabbergasted by this beautiful man. I am confused and beside myself.
You gotta go support him in that new movie with replace the French.
Chevalier? No, I'm good.
That shit on street. Like you ain't that good looking.
It's not that I mean, look, I love to see a black man, especially a black actor working. I'm gonna support him by probably streaming it once it hits streaming, or I'll pick that shit up from Redbox. I'm sure it is a fascinating period piece.
Get the AMC A-list so you don't have to pay for movies every time you go. You just see anything you want inside of a theater.
Sure, but I also am just like not super enthused to check out the movie about the incredibly talented, famous historical, multi-instrumental, like black guy. That's no disrespect to him, and that's no disrespect to his story, because I'm sure it's fascinating. Because I've heard like it's ambitious. Here's the thing: I want this movie to make money. Damn, that's a good ass cast too. Samara,
they contribute to the money it's making. It doesn't look like it's getting great reviews. Oh no.
Oh.
Well, let me.
Apparently, he's really good in it.
Uh-oh.
Apparently, Kelvin Harrison Jr. is very good in it.
Well,
The
yeah,
rest
he
of
doesn't miss. He never misses.
Samara Weaving being in it is interesting. Oh, wait a minute. She's Marie Antoinette? Yeah, that's some good casting right there.
Oh, what? Okay, what the hell?
Oh, no, she's not. She's Marie Josephine de Montalembert. Lucy Boynton from a bunch of things that I've never heard.
Hey, it hits your qualifications. Not qualifications, but it's an hour and 47 minutes. It's a breeze. It's the under 2 hour mark.
I would have to see this with somebody. I'd have to see this with my friend who actually also speaks a small amount of French.
Okay. I got A-list, so I'm gonna go watch it because I don't know anybody who'd watch it with me. So I'm just I don't have indie movie friends. All my friends like blockbusters, so I just got to go watch the indie shits by myself. Like I wanted to go watch.
I wouldn't. It's like again, because I don't have the AMC thing right now. I don't have a major. Again, I'm just not huge into biopics, really. Because the only one that I'm really interested in is the one coming out about Bayard Rustin, the black gay socialist, starring my boy from Euphoria. Because like that has a strong cast, and that's actually a part of history that I'm interested in. This is a part of history that is interesting. I'm just not particularly interested in. But I'm not opposed to never seeing it. But I also don't have a strong push to see it in theater. It's an interesting story. But I think to your point, if the movie's like an hour 50 and it's supposed to be a biographical drama, how much story can you tell?
Right. I feel like you got to stuff a lot in a small amount of time.
It's a pretty expedited.
Isn't that crazy? The concept of reducing somebody's life to under 2 hours.
It seems pretty impossible, one would say. That's why you have to kind of pick a chunk versus try to do the whole thing. That's honestly your best course of action. That's why a lot of those biopics don't really work, is because they try to do the whole life, but they focus on a chunk. It's like, nah, bro, just do a chunk. Do the startup in the beginning and then just pick a chunk and have it end there. You know, shit, bro, you can do sequel. Because I the last one I watched was that damn I almost called Missy Elliott. She ain't got no movie yet. The Whitney Houston one, which is alright. It's fine.
Right, it can be like that Steve Jobs movie I never watched. It take place over the course of 3 nights. The one with Michael Fassbender.
And that's a premise. That's a solid premise.
Speaking of which, what the fuck happened to Michael Fassbender? Where did he go? Where is that man? He hasn't been in shit since Dark Phoenix.
I'd be forgetting that he's Irish and not like British. He's married to Alicia Vikander.
What the fuck? Kung Fury 2 still supposed to come out. What the fuck? I forgot.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that shit forever.
It's in post production, so it's out. I mean, it's ready, I guess.
What the hell is Next Goal Wins? Oh, it's Taika Waititi. Okay.
Is it? Ooh, okay. That's what's happened. That's where he's been.
What?
He's in a Taika film. Okay. That's his comeback.
Oh shit! He's working on a movie about Cuckoo Lane.
Cuckoo Khan.
This one is an Irish mythological hero, and then he's EPing a Netflix dystopian drama. What is it with? Okay, I'm gonna say something.
Ooh, he's also okay. What?
I'm gonna say something, and it's gonna sound offensive, and I kind of don't care. What is it with white people's obsession with dystopia? Why do they love? Yeah. Why do they always make movies about it? It's kind of irking my nerves because I think about every time there's like an apocalyptic movie. I mean, it makes sense that that's a dystopia, but they love making shit about shit going wrong for them. You know what I've never seen? A movie about a bunch of black people or a bunch of Mexican people or a bunch of Japanese people or fuck it, a bunch of Native Americans dealing with the apocalypse. Actually, strike that. I've heard of one sort of. It was a bunch of Native Americans fighting a bunch of fucking vampires. And I still need to watch that movie because I heard it's very good.
I don't know the foreign films they've dealt with it, like
well, I mean Hollywood films, but yeah, like Last Train to Busan is set during the zombie apocalypse. Great movie. You need to watch the spin-offs and follow-ups. But Hollywood, why is it only like the same 5 white people win the world? You know?
I don't know. Maybe you should make it. Maybe change the narrative.
I will. I'm not going to make it an apocalypse movie. You know? Because every time they think about shit,
no one wants to make it.
well, because every time they make movies set in the future, it's always some shit that went wrong. What if shit gets really cool, bro? You dead inside cynical motherfuckers? Like, what if some shit gets really tight? You know? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a movie that has an optimistic outlook, where it's like, hey, you know, we finally invent faster than light travel, and a black family decides to go to space and explore the stars. And they go on adventures and see new worlds and talk to new communities, and everything is cool for them. And you know what's the hard thing? They start to run out of fuel. So now they got to figure out where the fuel is. And then they find a place with a bunch of nice motherfuckers that are kind and helpful and peaceful. And they get along and it works out. It'll be like Paddington with niggas in space. It'll be a family film. It'll be set in the year 2077 because it's okay for people to have dreams that aren't that far off. And it's like, yeah, we went into space, and then we got scared a little bit because everything was new, and new things are scary, but everyone was friendly and it was cool. We almost ran out of gas, but we didn't run out of gas because our new friends helped us get more gas. And there's a bunch of nice places out there where we can live. So come on, everybody. And it's like, okay, that's cool. I'm glad that worked out for us. And everybody hugs, and everybody's safe. There's not a bunch of bullshit drama. Ain't nobody cheating on nobody. Ain't nobody beefing with nobody. The kids and the parents get along. You know what the trouble is? Looking at new shit.
And you gotta call it the Williams.
Sure. Why not?
Space with the Williams.
Call it Voyage of the Williams.
Call it Winning with the Williams.
Yeah.
This is the family winning for 2 hours straight.
Yeah. It's just like, just good shit happens to them, and they're just nice to each other about it. And when something goes wrong and one of them is scared, you know, the son is like, Dad, I'm worried. There's like acid rain coming, and we got to get out of here before the rain comes. And it's like, son, I know it's scary, but I need you to be strong with me because I'm scared too. It's okay to be scared, but what's important is what you do when you're scared. And they, you know, and he learns about his feelings, and they talk and they work it out.
This reminds me of like the Fantastic Four meets After Earth meets A Quiet Place.
Yeah. It's like Fantastic Four meets After Earth meets Interstellar.
There you go. Yep.
That's how I'm gonna pitch it. And then and you know what the sequel is about? It's about a bunch of native people building a new society with the new technology that the black people found, and the challenges that come with building a bunch of new shit. Because sometimes people get tired and things get hard, and we need more resources. So you know what? We got to pick who the fuck's going to go to space and get more shit for us, because we don't know when they're coming back, and that's scary. But we're a community. We support each other and look out for each other. So in the end, it works out. And then they come back and we all cheer and we're happy. You know, like the dad goes up to space with you know, because his wife is pregnant and he's nervous and she's nervous, but he makes it back with the shit that they need. And then it's like, cool. Now we have a clean, renewable energy source, just in case the other energy sources don't work. It all works out. And everyone's happy. Because sometimes happy shit happens. And that's okay, god damn it. Jesus Christ. Sometimes time goes forward and things are okay. It's okay to not be sad and cynical about everything.
Ooh, 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 Don't worry.
Yeah.
Be happy.
What's the next one? Oh, well, the third spinoff, I'm glad you asked. It's about a Puerto Rican family that has a boat race. And it's all about the fun of competition. And at the end, the kid loses, but they're like, hey, son, you worked hard, and you should be proud that you worked hard. But sometimes it doesn't work out. It's okay to be disappointed, but you don't throw a fit about it. Thanks, Dad. I learned a lot about the spirit of competition. Then he competes next year and whoops that motherfucker's ass. And it's a wholesome movie about a Puerto Rican family in a little boat race like it's Stuart Little. And it works out and they're happy. What? It's just going to be an anthology series of minorities having happy shit. Leave the sadness to the white people. I want a bunch of brown and other minority people to be happy. It's a family with two dads, and they're raising a little girl, and she has a boat race, and it works out. That's the Puerto Rican one.
Let's get happy up in here. Yeah.
Yeah. Then the fourth one is gonna be the zany one. It's gonna be like Cheaper by the Dozen, but here's the twist: they're poly.
Cheaper by the dozen.
It's gonna be Cheaper by the Dozen, except they're poly. So instead of 2 parents with 12 kids, it's 6 parents with 6 kids. There's gonna be 6 parents with 12 kids, and they're like, "Well, shit."
Instead of 2 parents with 12 kids, it's 2 kids with 12 parents.
There you go. There you go. Flip it on his head. It's like, well, it's like, yeah, Mom said this, but Dave said this. It's like, Dave just got here 2 weeks ago. It's like, yeah, but I like Dave.
Family meeting.
Dave can braid a mean ponytail. Yeah, but don't listen to Dave. Okay, but what about, Victoria? I do like Victoria. She does make a mean batch of cookies, but Victoria's only been here for 2 months. Go ask your father. Man, fuck this. I'm asking Victoria. Victoria make bomb cookies. It's like, goddamn. And they all sleep in a big ass bed that's the size of California Queens. It's just 2 California Queens pushed together. And they tore down a wall to push them all, to push all the beds together. And it's like, oh boy, Billy and Keisha are having a soccer game. Because like it's 2 biological kids, and the whole time you're trying to figure out who's the parents of them. Because it's a whole sprinkle of all them motherfuckers, and these kids are going to be racially ambiguous. And they're just going to call everybody mom and dad.
Right. Just one of the kids is like, Dad, and then 6 is yes.
6 turn around like, yeah. And they all have different qualities. Frank is a mechanic, but Dave is a baker. But Steve is a barber. But Kumail, he's a dance teacher.
And Craig's an astronaut.
Yeah, and Craig's an astronaut. That's going to be the funny bit. There's 12 of them, but one of them is always not around because he's an astronaut. And you never see him to the end of the movie. And guess what, motherfucker? The dad was Dave the whole time. You thought it was that astronaut bitch. Nah, man. That astronaut bitch just got here a month ago. Welcome to the polycule, motherfucker.
Damn. What a twist.
Yeah, they try to, the whole movie is just going to be a bunch of shenanigans that you get into of having 12 motherfuckers trying to raise 2 kids. You would think it'd be fun, but the first thing is sleeping arrangements. Their house has three levels. It's like, oh boy, Keisha's having her first soccer game in 1st grade or whatever the fuck. And then 12 motherfuckers show up, and it's like, hey, we're having a potluck after the game next week. Can your mommy and daddy bring us something? Can you tell us where they are? That is them. The whole first 3 rows of the bleachers, that is my mommy and daddy. Yeah, but your mommy and daddy. That is literally all of them. I don't know which one at this point. And once I was 5, I kind of stopped asking because they wouldn't tell me. They thought it was funnier that way. And the joke has been running for 2 years. I'm 7 now. I don't care. Just pick one and ask them. It's just the 2 kids being sick of their parents' shit. Which parents? Yes.
Yep.
That's the 4th movie in this saga. It's just cheaper by the double. That's the title. And it's 12 people in a polycule raising 2 kids and a bunch of hijinks. They go to an Italian restaurant and order a family meal. And it's like, oh, okay, how many people are going to be at your table? 14. What? Yeah. Are you celebrating something? Nah, it's just family dinner. They order pizza. How many pizzas? 6 XLs. I'm sorry? You heard me right, motherfucker. It has 1 F-bomb. So you heard me right, motherfucker. 6. XL? Yeah. Double XL if you got it. Okay.
Damn.
Are you feeding the army? Nah. It's for my multiple boyfriends and girlfriends and partners of indeterminate gender. How many of those do you have? You'll see. We're the ones with the lights still on. But somehow, in this big ass house, the kids still have their own room. It's the parents that have to share a room together.
Damn straight.
Just knocked down 2 walls and said, "Yeah, we just made this a super master bedroom."
I know this isn't applicable to this sequel, but I just thought of another one. It'd be Cheaper by the Cousin.
Yes. That's the sequel. That's the direct sequel. One of them has a family reunion, and you're trying to figure out which one it is. Surprise! This one is the astronaut this time. It's his family. But again, you can't tell because those families are a bunch of blended motherfuckers too. You don't know. You got an Asian dude with a Puerto Rican chick, a Brazilian dude with a black lady. You got a couple Japanese lesbians. That motherfucker's just diverse as hell. It's just like, well, this has got to, they're teenagers now, and they're trying to introduce their partner to the family, so they take them to a family reunion. And all the motherfuckers there are mixed, so they don't know whose family it is. Is it Dave? Is it Sujin's? Is it Keisha's? Is it Latrell's? We don't get an answer.
Nope.
But here's the thing. All the questions you have, a lot of them get answered, but not all of them. Whose family reunion is this? I'm not sure, but they have mash and t-shirts and a water slide and hot dogs, so let's just make the best of it. And it's confusing, but it's happy. Cheaper by the double, followed by cheaper by the cousin. And then in the third one, both of the twins are grown now, and they're both getting married on the same day at the same time to cost down on budgets, because we're still in a recession. But the twist here is that one of them is pregnant. And now they're trying to figure out, we're having a new addition to the family. Do I want to introduce my baby to all of that I had to deal with in the first 2 fucking movies? But son, we're your multiple dads and moms and other parents that are non-binary. Yeah, but that's also 16 of you motherfuckers by this point. Because 2 died off screen and we got 4 more somehow. Because we're like a Hydra. You cut off 1 and 3 more come to fill up the spot. And that's the one where it gets intense. And then somebody dies of cancer.
Dun dun dun.
And that is the trilogy that is my 7-film arc about unusual positive dynamics with families. And most of the time things go well, but sometimes things happen that are weird.
How far we've come from Swarm.
Right. Over here talking about this gay traumatized serial killer over to just a trilogy of movies about a polycule that spirals out the way that people think it might in a way that's hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah, I just wrote a trilogy of films on par with the Paddington trilogy in terms of its wholesomeness and hilariousness. And I'm gonna have all the parents be played by big name actors that you would never see together.
Hey, I like that idea.
Yeah, it'll be like I don't know. It'll be like Jack Black, Lizzo, Damson Idris,
Too late for that one.
Steve Buscemi, Cardi B, uh, Michelle Yeoh, Ki Hoi Kwan, because they have to be in everything together now. So saith I, because they work well. Coincidentally, they aren't together in the dynamic, but they do share the living space. And then, like, I don't know, Viola Davis and Meryl Streep are a couple at some point.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
fuck it, why not?
Fuck it.
You know, and they show up and they always have matching outfits, and it's really cute.
Adorable.
They're in a three-way. It's Michelle Yeoh, Viola Davis, and Meryl Streep as a three-way couple. Not in any like objectifying way. They all wear matching plaid.
I dig it. I can see
They're
it.
they're in the second one. They're in the family reunion as the fuck it, Selma Hayek. Let's make it four. The four of them are in a interracial four-woman lesbian house where they all raise adopted dogs together in a log cabin that Meryl Streep and Salma Hayek built. And Viola Davis is the architect that built that motherfucker. And Meryl Streep is a 5-star Michelin chef.
Wow.
And there's a whole spin-off series about them raising all of their rescue dogs. It's a 5-episode limited series, and it's incredibly comfortable and soothing. There's never a sex scene, and the most they do is kiss on the cheek like it's fucking Power Rangers.
Coming to a network near you on Paramount Plus.
It'll co-air on Paramount Plus and Apple Plus, and it'll win 3 Emmys, 2 Golden Globes, and a Gotham Award for music.
I
Can you tell I'm starting to lose my mind?
I think we're both delirious, bro.
I'm just putting together stories. I made up a whole offshoot. Oh God! Wait, I have another one for the polycule. Who's your boy that plays Barry?
Oh, fuck.
No, not as a movie, just as one of the members of the polycule.
What is it?
Who's your not Rainn Wilson? Who's your boy that plays Barry?
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader is the one that comes from space.
Yes, I approve this. I approve this message, and I approve this pitch.
Oh Jesus! Okay. Yeah. That is enough. I'm going to make separate intros and outros for this because Jesus Christ, what the fuck? And
my
other
eyes have been closed for the last 10 minutes.
I fully understand. And with that, I feel like it's fair to bid it adieu because I need to go the fuck to sleep.
Hey, thank you again. That was the episode. Yeah, if you're curious as to why we had such a long extended break, I don't have an answer other than life is lifing. I was actually with Aaron, but unfortunately, due to how busy our schedules were when I had the opportunity to go out and visit him, we weren't able to record an episode like we planned. But we did have a lot of fun, and we have a lot of stories that we'll probably talk about in the future, as you heard us talk about watching Mario in 4DX. But yeah, as for the sound quality, just recording this go round, I wasn't able to use my regular microphone, so I had to use my phone. It is what it is, and we make the best of those circumstances. But yeah, again, don't forget to like the show, share the show, rate the show 5 stars. If you're looking for me, you can find me on social media at Will the Greatest on both YouTube and Instagram, and also now TikTok. And if you're looking for Aaron, my lovely co-host, you can find him on Instagram at The Real Aaron Alexander, as well as on TikTok under Aaron Alexander 64. And if you want to follow our IG page for the podcast, you can follow us at Official Ace Podcast. And don't forget to submit questions with hashtag AskAce, and we'll answer them depending on where you leave them at. But yes, thank you again for listening. We will see you in the next episode that we post.